KnoxvilleSmiles.com or just call their office at 865-539-1776.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
We really need to get some branded stuff. Shirts, hats, promo items, something professional.
I mean, we could just find a website and order a bunch of it ourselves.
You could, but you're taking a big risk. You don't know the quality, the fit, the timeline. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I guess, but isn't that how everyone does it now?
Not the ones who actually care about how their brand looks. Look, if we're putting our name on it, it needs to be done right. We need SM Athletics.
SM Athletics?
Yeah, they specialize in working with businesses like ours. Apparel, hats, promo gear, but real, customized stuff. They actually care if it turns out right.
Probably a lot better than getting stuck with 100 t-shirts with crooked logos.
Exactly. Plus, they'll walk you through everything. Sizing, colors, material, so it matches the image we're trying to build.
Makes sense. What's the name again?
SM Athletics. Trust me, if you want to look like a real company, not a flea market stand, this is the move. If you're serious about your brand, work with people who are serious about getting it right. SM Athletics.
For over 3 years, Crumble Cookies has served the Knoxville area. From Clinton Highway to Parkside Drive, even our friends out in Maryville have reached you, our fans, with the best cookies in the game. This fall, Crumble is gearing up for yet another fantastic season. Whether you're tailgating or looking for a pick-me-up after getting the kids from school, Crumble has you covered. Download the Crumble app to check out this week's rewards and features. And stop on by. Tell them Fan Run sent you, but don't miss the cookies.
WKGN 1340. Go Balls!
You're tuned in to East Tennessee's premier sports radio call-in show. This is The Drive.
And hello, good afternoon, and welcome to another stellar edition of The Drive here on Fan Run Radio. Russell Smith punching the time clock. It's 3:02, a Wednesday afternoon edition of the show. Good to be with you. So much going on. Who says there's an off season? Man, we have a ton to get into this afternoon. Jack DeLongchamp coming up here in just a minute. How did I do on that?
Did good.
Jack DeLongchamp coming up here in just a few minutes. He's a college baseball insider expert. The guy played the game. He's a young guy.
Yeah.
Played the game, has a burgeoning media career, has a great baseball podcast, just a terrific baseball spirit. You love these guys who just love the game.
Yeah.
And he's parlayed his podcast and some fame into he's doing ESPN now. He's going to be at the Starkville Regional.
Yeah, he's going to be at the Dude doing that regional. He was a guest on my show in the past, and I mean he's got a very close relationship with Tennessee baseball. It was more born out of Tony V, but also some of the players that are no longer here, like Xander Sechrist and Kirby Connell and Dylan Loy. He's a friend of the program, really knows Tennessee baseball too. So he'll be a fun conversation.
Yeah, excited to talk to him. We announced the starters today. Josh Elander, and roll the dice. We're going to go with Blanco in game one. And you know what? I kind of like it, man. We'll get into this here in just a second. There's also a ton of college football news happening all around us. We are expecting an announcement any minute from, I don't know if this is going to come from the SEC or the TV networks or what, but the kickoff times and TV designations, easy for me to say, for the first 3 games of the season are going to be out today. And we've got some sourcing on that. I can tell you there's going to be a couple of night games. Bob, are you ready for the Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech, 7 p.m. national television on ABC? Are you ready for this?
Yes, I'm hoping that is going to be the case. Sounds like it is. That would be awesome. With all due respect to the opener against Furman, feels like the season starts in Atlanta in week 2.
I think you might want to pack your sunscreen for the season opener against Furman, but I think the other two are going to be played out underneath the stars, including Neyland Knight against Kennesaw. So hopefully we'll have that news confirmed here before the end of the show. I always go a little bit different on the Georgia Tech. Like, I always think all the coaches and players I've ever talked to say there's nothing more miserable than sitting around in a hotel all day out of town waiting to play a night game on the road. From a Tennessee, like, I just want to win the game perspective, I would much rather play that at noon or 3:30, but they don't make those decisions. It's made for TV audience maximization, and that's what is going to come down here a little bit later. We've also got a situation worth monitoring with Cam Coleman. Chaz Coleman, excuse me.
Wish we had Cam Coleman.
That's the receiver, right, at Texas now?
Yeah.
They're going to be loaded.
Yes.
Chaz Coleman is the defensive end transfer from Penn State, and he is not here right now.
Yeah.
Not good, Bob.
No, not at all. Not at all. Feels like we've kind of gone through a variation of this just about a year ago.
Around this time, yeah, we did.
Are we talking about Boo or Nico?
Well,
I think it's Nico.
You're talking. Bob's talking about Boo. You're talking about Nico.
I'm talking about Boo, but no,
no.
And then you can go Nico, the kind of the year before that, because it kind of was the season, in the off season before Boo, and then you can go back the year before that, and you had the whole Jeremy Banks situation. Whatever happened there, I think that was the year.
Nico
before.
was last off season. That was Nico and Boo were the same off season.
Right.
Just kind of
Boo's carried over into the
Nico
was
spring football,
gone.
and then the summer is what I remember with the Boo thing. And I mean, I stumped for that guy for so much. I feel like a fool, actually.
You shouldn't.
Yeah.
He had all the talent in the world.
Well, I could tell you this for what it's worth. Source I have close to the team, not on the team, close to the team, says that several guys on the team are saying that he is expected in late tonight and will be back at workouts tomorrow. Now, I don't know. This whole thing's weird. I mean, he went AWOL for a portion of spring practice. Their workouts were supposed to start, I think, yesterday. It was sometime this week. Like, they had some time off last week, and then, they have a schedule, right? Summer workouts begin this week.
Correct.
Whether it was Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever. You were supposed to be here, and he wasn't here. So that's a story now. Pete Nakos has written about it. I believe Chris Lowe might be commenting on it as well. Chaz Coleman not here. This is significant. Bobby spent, it sounds like, $2 million on this young man. He was the number one defensive transfer available in the portal. We got him. We won a huge bidding war with Ohio State. He is one of, if not the highest paid player on the team. And whether his reasons are legitimate or not, I don't mean to make light of mental health. It's certainly a real situation, but Tennessee is not getting what they paid for right now, and it is becoming a distraction.
Here's my question. Did they pay all that up front?
I don't think they paid it all up front. I think that's a monthly deal. You get a monthly direct deposit, as I understand it. And so like he has been getting paid since he's been here. Like, you've already invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into this young man, and presumably he's still getting paid right now.
Not to make it too simplistic, but I mean, you're paying for somebody that doesn't show up for work. And what world of reality, especially when you're talking about somebody that's contracted at this level, you can't just not show up.
No, it's college football though, and there's a need here. I mean, like, if you're flipping through your Athlon, your Lindy's this time of year, like me, you're looking at, okay, we're pretty good at this position. Okay, we're pretty set here at receiver. Running back room looks good. Offensive line, yeah, man. Okay, quarterback, definitely a question mark. Defensive line, oh, man, we got some bodies back there. Whoa. Oh, Leo. We got Chaz Coleman and a whole bunch of nothing. right there in terms of returning
Right.
production.
Yeah.
That's a problem. Most important positions in football, quarterback, and those who affect the quarterback, rush end. I mean, that's why those guys get paid the big bucks. That's a glaring hole. If Cam Coleman, so I'm answering your question, Bear, like why do you pay a guy who's not showing up to work? Because you don't have any other options. And if this guy, you've got some time, hopefully best case scenario, he works through whatever he's working through, gets his head screwed on straight, and shows up tomorrow and attacks his summer offseason conditioning program with a vengeance and plays for you next year and plays well.
Right.
Worst case scenario, he flakes, or his medical condition does not allow him to participate this year. Okay, you might not have to pay him all the money you said you were going to pay him, but the fans don't care about this once the ball kicks off. They care about who you got. And you're looking at Jordan Norman, a transfer from Tulane, who began his career at South Alabama, hasn't played a ton, certainly not at this level. Christian Gass, who redshirted last year, hasn't played a ton, and then a bunch of true freshmen, and that rarely goes well. So I think that Josh Heupel, I think that he's right to continue to be patient about it. He was cornered at SEC spring meetings just moments ago in Destin, stuck a microphone in front of his mouth. He did his Heupel thing where he just talked in gray vaguely. He's working through some stuff, blah, 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 nothing specific. But I think that's probably the right play for right now, where, hey, okay, we're work for, like, he's important enough. He's worth a certain amount of distraction. But, and we saw this with Boo Carter last year, at a certain point, it's not worth the distraction. And I don't know where that line of demarcation is, but it's out there somewhere. And I think it's before the season. I don't think you let this, you don't want to be talking about where is it? Well, he's working through
August.
in camp.
Yeah, no, you can't. I think what it boils down to, Russ, is at what point does the team, the players, his teammates, that they've had enough. This guy's not out here sweating and killing it with us during all these workouts.
Well, it's a great point because, last year, the Boo Carter thing blew up in their face. They tried to manage it. They couldn't manage it. And
because the players were out on him.
But the players were out on him. They never got fully back in. And then even when Boo got out there, he wasn't very good. So
he hadn't been working out.
Yeah. So all the headaches you put up with to keep him in the fold weren't even worth it in the end. And so you go out and you make some changes. You say, hey, man, like what happened last year, not going to happen again. We're bringing in this new drill sergeant of a strength coach. We're changing our defensive coordinator. What happened last year is unacceptable. This is a new day. We're going to hold everybody accountable. You've heard that. Like this strength coach, every time he gets in front of a microphone, it's about accountability. It's about taking responsibility for yourself and all that stuff. And okay, here's one of your high-paid guys who's not working.
Yeah, he's not showing, and there's nothing voluntary about these workouts.
No, and all your teammates, all the other guys on the team are looking around like, hey, that dude with the 2 cars, that dude making the $2 million, like he's not here and he's still on the team. So there's a bunch of guys who were on the team last year and saw that
outside.
They saw this happen with Boo Carter. They heard their head coach say it won't happen again. Now it's happening again.
Yeah, I think the pattern is that's honestly that is a little troubling, to be honest with you.
Yeah, man.
And I mean, and I'm talking about the tip of the spear too, is what I'm getting at. This is, there's other programs in the country. Somebody said it on the live chat, and I agree. You think Cignetti does this at Indiana? You think he lets somebody just kind of?
Great question.
There's no way.
I mean, and is all forgiven even if if Coleman strolls in tonight at the 11th hour. I mean, it still is just, man, it feels a little casual to me. That's all. That's all.
It does. And I also saw Austin Price post about this on VolQuest and basically saying, yeah, they're looking to see if he'll show up this week. This was yesterday before this latest thing came out about Heupel saying he's not here. It's like, okay, if they're hoping he shows up, but test it, will he still be here in 2 weeks, a month, and down the road?
Yeah.
If you're having those questions,
yeah, man, it's not good.
Again, mental health is health. We're all wishing the best for the young man. If he's homesick induced depression or whatever. That could be a real thing. But this is big time SEC football. You know, you can wish the young man well. He got paid for a couple of months here and say, hey, man, at a certain point, like we have to move on with. We're a team, and you're either with us or you're not. And if you're not, we can still help you. You can still go to school here. We'll still
bend over backwards to help you get
make services. Make services available to you. But we got a football team that's out here bleeding and sweating in the sun together, and you're not a part of that. That means you can't run through the tee.
Yeah, I mean, it's just in resentment. The longer this goes on, the more I feel like that's when the resentment will start building.
Well, and it also, and I think this is what you were getting at, Bob, plays into a growing narrative that Josh Heupel is a little bit soft.
Mm-hmm.
Soft when it comes to, and he would be fighting mad, I'm sure, if he heard that. But I'm just telling you what I see. I see a pattern here playing out that you said you weren't going to deal with anymore last year, that you're dealing with it again.
Yeah.
You're handling things with kid gloves. Does Curt Cignetti even own kid gloves? I don't think so. So again, I'm not saying you just kick the get off the team immediately or anything. I think you've got some time to work through it here, but I probably would have a little bit of a zero tolerance policy. It's like, son, okay, we're glad to have you back. Water in the bridge. We'll let bygones be bygones, but the next time this happens, like we're going to go in a different direction.
I mean, widening the lens. This is what I think about too. And I said this before on previous shows. It's like that whole notion of what you just said. It's kind of soft. We're not killers, man. I think all the way back to 22 when we beat Alabama, we were killers then. We were, okay? Heupel was. The team was. I think the other games now, man, and I think about the Arkansas loss in Fayetteville a couple seasons back. I just feel like we had no business losing that game.
And I mean, we had some really strong team leaders that year.
And so what I'm getting at is all of this stuff that swirls around, we're kidding ourselves if we don't think that that's kind of conveying out to the field too. I believe it. And so that's why, again, man, it underscores how important this season is for Josh Heupel, in my opinion. I really believe that that's the case. And I don't want to get too over my skis on what's going on here with Coleman, but man, this ain't a great start. That's all.
No, it's not. And we'll get back into it here in just a little while. We've also got Congress attempting again to solve all of college athletics problems, in one felt swoop. And the end of the so-called cupcake weekend. Well, at least some good came out of SEC spring meetings this year. A lot to get to. College baseball, Tennessee, East Carolina. Gotta win game one. Jack DeLongchamps covers all things college baseball with D1 Baseball, the Pencil Talk Pod, and this weekend with ESPN. He joins us next to talk about Tennessee in Chapel Hill. Stay with us. You're listening to The Drive right here on Fan Run Radio.
The Drive.
Take Fan Run Radio with you on the
not quit. Matt in Chattanooga. Come on. I mean, everybody takes a little time off. It's a good beach week, right? He beat us all to the beach. So shout out to Walker, who I'm sure is not listening.
He's not listening.
He's got better things going on.
He's a bum, man.
I was hoping to get a report
Well,
back on how the trip was going.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
If they've kicked the misses out yet?
Yeah, the dude who brought his girlfriend on the guy's trip.
Oh, man. I'm sure we'll get full and complete report tomorrow. Let's get Jack DeLongchamp in here this afternoon. He of the Pencil Talk podcast also does work with D1 Baseball. And this weekend will be found in Starkville on ESPN, the Mississippi State Regional. Good afternoon, Jack. How are you, sir?
Gentlemen, how are we living this fine afternoon?
Oh, man, doing fantastic. I mean, it is a fine afternoon. When you got college baseball, this sport that we here in Knoxville didn't even really know existed 10 years ago. And now we're like breaking down pitching matchups. And it's a little nouveau riche here for us, Jack, but we are into it, man. I know you are too.
Well, it's been an honor to come and jump on your show the last couple of years since that magical run in 24. And the mayhem that is college baseball is the absolute best. The best time of the year is upon us. And T-minus 48 hours, boys?
Yeah,
until just freaking 18 hours of nonstop baseball. It's the best time of the year.
Jack, it's good talking to you, brother. Thanks for hopping on with us. Before we get to the games itself, you and I communicated, and Russ just mentioned it. Really excited for you to be getting a chance to shine this weekend on the ESPN family of networks for the regional at the Dude down in Starkville, right? Are you doing color for that?
I will be the color analyst for that. I'm actually driving to the airport here in about 15 minutes to make sure that I catch a flight and head to what many have called the Cathedral of College Baseball. So, my friend, we've talked and chatted over your show the last couple of years. This weekend will feel a little bit different than when I slept in an RV in Omaha, Nebraska to cover Tony V and the Vols winning it all. But man, I'm super grateful and super blessed for the opportunity this weekend. Like, this is it's gonna be nuts. 20,000 plus in the Dude. I'm ready to run through a wall.
It's a great environment down there, the sprawling metropolis of Starkville, Mississippi. I hear they got a second traffic light this year. Shots fired. No, it's a great play. I mean, they have. What do you think? You're a college baseball junkie. I mean, we're really proud of the strides our ballpark has made here in Knoxville. But I mean, when you talk about LSU, Mississippi State, I'm a big fan of Auburn and what they've done at Plainsman Park the past couple of years. What are your favorite venues in the sport these days?
It's a great question, man. I think you actually hit the nail on the head. I actually did Plainsman for the first time this fall. Actually, went and did the Iron Bowl, and that staff was kind enough to kind of walk me around some of the new renos that they've been able to make happen in the last few years. And Auburn is absolutely gorgeous. And believe it or not, man, this is actually my first trip to Starkville. As much college baseball as I've covered over the years, man, this has been kind of like one of those long looming like bucket list spots. So to kind of get to do it in this role with the folks I'm be heading down there with in this kind of environment, like it's going to be a dream come true. So I think I got to imagine that one's going to be up there. The box is absolutely nutty. Baum Walker, in Fayetteville was a blast. Did that last year for the Super Regional against the Vols. I think that's the last time we actually spoke to break down that matchup. And yeah, man, you guys are all over it. LNS is the best, man. The people, I think, are what makes the place, and I haven't been able to come back since the recent renovations are done, but it's been really cool to see the administration kind of pour gas on the fire with, what college baseball represents in y'all's town. And I think he has done such a remarkable job coaching up this group that, they deserve an arena, if you will, a stadium of this magnitude. And so if you're asking my favorite venues, I think that was a really long-winded way to say that the SEC just built different, right?
All the top level. All the top level SEC programs. Sorry to interrupt, but you're gonna love
all over it.
You're gonna love Lindsey Nelson next time you. I mean, we're like it's the house that Tony V built, man. I mean, it's pretty awesome.
Hey,
that's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm excited to get there.
Excuse me. The The one thing you just mentioned, you talked about Elander, and again, we will get to the games here in a minute, but I do want to get your take, being a former player. You know that program really well, and even though Josh is the new coach, he's a vestige of Tony V's architecture, if you will. There were some choppy moments here, at least from a fan base perspective during this season, but it feels like things have stabilized a bit. But from your perspective as a player, and if you could put yourself in the shoes of those players in the locker room with Elander, you feel like that some of that might have been expected?
Home run hire, man. Like, when you looked at what this season looked and felt like, that's everything it was supposed to look and feel like. Early on, I think a lot of, folks were, I think, drumming up conversations of, this is just like Michael Early at A&M last year. Well, look how he's responded in year 2 in College Station. They're hosting this season. This is not easy, right? Like, playing the SEC week after week is not easy. I don't care who you got coaching the ball club, right? Like, it's not fun. I think the outpour, like if I'm putting myself in those shoes, which, by the way, I wasn't good enough to clean those Tennessee shoes back in my playing day, but I appreciate you allowing me to wear it just for this exercise. But I think there was a reason that there was an outpour when Tony left from the Giants job, from current player, former player, recruit. This was their guy. This was always the plan. He passed up other jobs because he wanted this job. His family's tied into the community. And I think when you look at some of those early season struggles, I think actually adding the pitching coach late, like, it allowed for everybody to kind of be like, all right, cool. Like, who are we? What is our identity? I think that position has really filled out nicely as the year's gone on, as they, searched for depth in that bullpen. And I think obviously they're in a really, really great position now. Hey, congratulations, North Carolina, on such an unbelievable season. Here come the Vols, who seem to be playing their best baseball to date. That regional is going to be absolute madness. But if you're asking me, like, I just think those guys are so bought in. And I still think about and get goosebumps to that video of when they gave Elander the job and everybody in that room going absolutely berserk. He's still the same dude that day as he is today, and that tells you everything you need to know about him.
Talking with Jack DeLongchamps this afternoon with D1 Baseball and the Pencil Talk podcast. He'll be in Starkville covering the Starkville Regional with ESPN this weekend. And Jack, let's get into this Chapel Hill Regional in Tennessee. I don't know if you saw the news today. Elander actually going to start his second guy, Blanco, in the first game against East Carolina, saving the ace Tegan Coons for potentially, if Tennessee wins, a huge matchup against North Carolina on Saturday. What kind of chance do you give Tennessee to claw their way out of Chapel Hill this weekend?
I actually love the decision. I know it seems like you're pitching off because you're saving Coons for that matchup and what could be DeCaro Coons on Saturday night in Chapel Thrill. I think it's the right play, right? Like, it's so difficult. It's why college baseball's got the best postseason format. It's so difficult to win this time of year. And when you look at those regional formats, like, it's really unique. You get to a super, it's almost easier to win a super than it is a regional because you do what you've done all year. But why I'm kind of an advocate of throwing off in this position is you're going to have to go toe-to-toe. And Coons and DeCaro have been probably 2 top 5 starters in college baseball this year. Like, you got to be able to throw your best at them. So the idea of saying, okay, cool, like, we're going to throw Blanco, who, by the way, has looked really good too. Feels like the energy and passion from him has been a little bit more elevated in his last couple outings. I love the spot because I'd be willing to venture that East Carolina's probably thinking the same thing. I'm not sure if they've even made a decision yet, but Coach Godwin is famous for saving his ace for that Saturday night game, which allows you to go 2-0, puts you in the driver's seat, and you can really kind of strangle a team from that standpoint. I mean, hell, boys, 2 years ago, we saw Trey Savage and Chase Burns throwing Saturday morning in an elimination game. East Carolina Regional, they got Wake Forest Saturday morning after both teams are upset. And this is not foreign if fans are worried and maybe a little bit surprised by the decision. I like it. You're going for the throw. You're having to go into enemy territory and beat one of the best teams in the country, North Carolina. How do you do that? You put your best foot forward. You trust in Evan Blanco to go get the Pirates, and I think I would not be surprised if East Carolina does the exact same thing by saving their ace, Ethan Norby, for that Saturday night potential game as well.
That's exactly what they did, right?
Yeah.
Russ. They moved Norby, and who's the kid that's starting? Waters.
I have it in my notes here. Ryan Towers starts for them Friday.
Yeah.
So they did the same thing already.
Yeah. I mean, they're throwing a guy who actually Towers has built up some steam here in the latter part of the season. But I mean, at the beginning of the season, he was like a long haul middle reliever guy.
Well, and Norby pitched like a full game Friday and then pitched again Sunday in their conference championship game. So he might be a little stretched out right now.
So this is an interesting matchup though with East Carolina because they're obviously scrappy. They're 2-time defending American Conference champion. They only have about half the home run total that Tennessee does. If you're watching this game from afar, I mean, and also in postseason play, what in your mind, Jack, is more valuable? Is it, I'm thinking in terms of style of play, because East Carolina is not quite like a Kentucky in the way they play, but it is a little more scrappy and situational versus Tennessee, who they are what they are, even with the coaching change, man. They're, one of the top home run hitting teams in the country. Which one do you think plays better at this time of year?
You take in like a couple different factors, right? Ballpark, momentum. I look at East Carolina and the style of play, to your point, like Cliff Godwin's, ever changing. This was, for the most part, a down year for them. And again, back-to-back conference champions. They're almost inevitable, right? Like they've just been the wagon for so long. We expect them to be here. That's what makes them so dangerous as they look to get over the hump and back to Omaha for the first time in program history. So when you're asking like, well, yeah, it's nice when you can kind of consistently roll up to the ballpark and not rely on the long ball. But we know, man, how many times can we go? We can all close our eyes and think about those balls soaring over the fence and think about what it does to that ballpark from a momentum standpoint, especially on the road. So you're just looking for consistency, whatever style of play that you play in.
What's interesting is while we were talking, you and I, one of the listeners on our live chat on YouTube just mentioned that Towers, the pitcher that ECU is starting on Friday night, he's only given up 6 home runs the entire season. So maybe that was maybe a little strategery from Godwin there, right?
Yeah. Well, again, you're kind of playing read option this time of year. You understand who your matchups are, who's going to play well.
Yeah.
East Carolina, from a pitching style standpoint, big sink slide, love the ground ball. So they're in a spot where, you're looking to take advantage of those kind of like big, like carousel swings.
Jack DeLongchamp's with us this afternoon, talking college baseball on a beautiful Wednesday here in East Tennessee. Jack, you're going to be in Starkville covering Mississippi State. They were way up and down this year. Talk to us about the tournament at large. What other regions have your attention this weekend?
I don't know. They're loaded, right? That West Virginia region will be a lot of fun when you're looking at Wake Forest and Kentucky sliding in up there. Morgantown getting their first host spot in quite some time. Pair that with, I just really think it's really fun when you'll see, like, check out that Lincoln Regional, check out Kansas.
Yeah.
I mean, those are baseball communities that are hungry and craving excitement. So to me, the matchups, like, there's just so much good college baseball out there. These are the weekends I think we get to sit back and as just fans marvel in the venues and marvel on how much the game has grown, especially, and we just bragged on those SEC venues. Watch how nutty these fans are at these ballparks that haven't hosted regionals in decades. So to me, like, I look at, Nebraska having a host Kansas having a host Arkansas. Nebraska Lincoln is going to be an absolute madhouse, and Morgantown too. Those are probably the three I've got my eye on.
The one you took the words out of my mouth when you talk about Lincoln, because of the way Nebraska fans are with any sport, quite honestly. I mean, they're just nuts. But also you got Ole Miss there, man. I think that's a sneaky, that's a 2-seed I could see
they were
walking
tough
out of there. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, Hunter Henley's got a national championship, right? Like that seems hard to believe in today's old man like game, but pair, his stuff and pedigree with a guy like Judd Newmark who just broke the Ole Miss home run record. Like this time of the year, like to have guys that have been there and done that, like invaluable, right? So yeah, that's going to be a really frisky series. But I love what Will Bolt has built at Nebraska. Like, I got a lot of faith in those guys.
One more that I wanted to throw your way, and again, we got a little ahead of ourselves yesterday, but I'd love your take on it because I think, have you been to College Station before when you've done your work covering these teams?
Yes, I actually did this year in Texas for the war zone that was the what do they call it? The Lone Star Showdown.
Yeah, because so say, hang with me here. Tennessee wins in Chapel Hill. They win that regional, and then they go to College Station. Or what if they have to go west to play USC? Yeah, because I mean they're damn good too. I mean, they could get out of College Station. This feels like it's been this way the last couple of years, but man, it feels like a stacked tournament from every angle you look at it.
Yeah, and I think I saw something today. 643 Charts put something out where you guys had the toughest road to Omaha, and I think it's because of the teams that you mentioned. Like A&M probably is a top 3 offense in baseball, and on certain days they very well could be the very best offense in baseball. Struggling to find outs on the mound, but I think when you look at Southern Cal, to me, they've been the most consistent starting pitching group in the country. So, yeah, it'll be a lot of fun to watch for sure from afar.
Jack, excellent stuff this afternoon. Appreciate you jumping on with us. Appreciate your enthusiasm for the great sport of college baseball. Like I said, we're nouveau riche here in East Tennessee. We're still learning. It's fun. You know, we were Rodney Dangerfield at the country club for so many years. They didn't like us, but we got a nice guy coaching now. So maybe we'll settle in here a little bit. You know, SEC. Last non-SEC national champion, Oregon State in 2018, I believe. You got UCLA, Georgia Tech, North Carolina this year. I mean, maybe this is the year. The streak is broken.
I don't know. I don't want you with a league horse, but not so fast, my friend. Not so fast. We'll see, man. But always a blast to come on. I really appreciate you guys. We'll have to run it back. And always a big fan. You guys have been so good to me over the years, and always glad to catch up.
Yeah. Hey, Jack, on the way out, of course, I don't want to put you on the spot. You're calling the games, but I'm looking at that Mississippi State regional. I mean, they're situated pretty well in this one, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think when you look at their season, especially after that Globe Life tournament, Brian O'Connor is one of the best coaches in the country, or really throughout his entire career. But they're talented as hell, boys. So don't be so sure, man. The Cajuns. Louisiana is a really talented group. I love what Jordan Bishop has built at Cincinnati, and Lipscomb coming off a really wild ASUN tournament. So I think, you know, from the outside looking in, you might not be wowed by some of the brand names, but Louisiana is a really proud baseball program. And I know they've ruffled some feathers by putting out a post saying they're the only school from the state to make the tournament. They're playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. Oh, yeah. And Cincinnati, too, man. Quentin Coates for them. I believe he's third in the country with 28 home runs. Like, he's the real deal. So they've got some fun pieces. It's not going to be a cakewalk by any means for Mississippi State.
All right, Jack. Appreciate the time, my friend. Enjoy Stark Vegas.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Y'all be good.
See you, Jack. Thanks, buddy.
Jack DeLongchamps, one more time on the Drive Fan Run Radio. Guy with a lot of passion and enthusiasm for the sport of college baseball.
Yeah. We didn't get to ask him. One thing I was checking out on his social feed, apparently Arkansas has a rally moth. Have you seen that?
A what?
Rally moth?
A moth. It's huge, by the way.
Look, is it an actual moth?
I think it is. Yeah. Yeah. And how they're keeping it contained, I don't know. But if you go check it out, I mean, it's big, man. So
I've got a close friend who's got an unnatural fear of moths.
Moths are weird. I don't like moths.
They can't do anything to you. They're just dirty. That's all.
I mean, this dude was an all-state defensive end, big old dude, rough guy. But man, you bring a moth anywhere near him,
he'll freak.
Oh yeah, man.
I feel it, man. I don't like moths.
Jack's a good dude, man. It is true. He literally lived out of an RV in Omaha 2 years ago.
Awesome.
Drove it from
the bloods, the sweats, the tears.
Drove it from Charleston.
Hey, I want to do it, man. I've been watching a bunch. That's the latest YouTube rabbit hole I've been into.
Yeah,
is like guys who will just like go out in their RV and find like a blizzard and just like parking it.
Oh,
just
the
spend
Arctic,
night.
that guy's got that.
Not
Yeah.
or just like around like guys in their truck. There's one guy who just goes out. He's got like a Tacoma. He'll just go and hang out
Rest
at
out.
night. Yeah.
I'll tell you what I saw when I was in Indy this weekend. Have you seen these little trailers where all you can do is sleep in them? That's it.
The teardrop trailer. Yeah.
It's like this high off the ground, man.
It's
pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't think I could do that. I'd be totally claustrophobic, I think. But
Yeah.
some people do it.
I'm going to get into that van life, man. Buy a big van, just drive around.
I can see you. You like driving, don't you? You like. I remember when you went on your walkabout a couple of summers ago.
As long as it's got windows in it, Russ. That's you don't want to be driving just a panel van around.
I mean, that was.
I don't want to. I'm not selling ice cream here.
Free ice cream. Want a popsicle?
Stay with us. The drive continues. We'll open up the phone lines here if you want to hop in. 865-966-3435, 966-3435. So the kickoff times are official. That has been announced. We will hit that again for you if you're just joining us here today. A lot of college football stuff out there floating around in the ether. We will get to it all when we continue. It's Fan Run Radio. Stay with us.
The Drive.
The Playbook with William Pattison from
Through the class this afternoon. No, Walker has not quit. He will be back soon, hopefully. So, LC Vol says, great. We get our brains beat out by Georgia Tech on national television in the second week of the season. That's the spirit.
Come on.
GBO Kyle Beach says, yeah, I don't see that happening. If Georgia Tech beats our brains out, I won't watch a game the rest of the year. That'll be a tough one to pick ourselves up off the mat for if go down there to Georgia Tech and lose at Bobby Dodd Stadium. We can't lose in a stadium named after one of our own, right?
No. That'd be tough. It's going to be a tough game, though. Great environment. I'd love to go to that game.
I just remember the last time we played Georgia Tech. That's when wasn't that the game we were introduced to the turnover trash can?
Yes.
Yeah, and what else happened? You guys were down there for that.
It was the first
fan run.
It was the first game, I think, or maybe the second game. I think they had a game the night before or 2 nights before. Was it a Monday?
It was a Monday.
Yeah, they had a game Saturday night there, and then we were the second game ever in Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah, it was it was a Monday night.
Did the first ever voluntary reaction on the bus on the way home. It was a great idea.
I just remember it was a fan run production all the way.
Yeah, man, we went all out for that one. Georgia Tech was actually my first game. 1987. I believe it was 22-15, the final there.
Mine was Clemson.
We sat up in the very top of the upper deck underneath the V, as I recall, maybe like 3 or 4 rows from the top. I was hooked.
Oh, yeah.
I was hooked
on the first game as well.
Couldn't get enough. Can't get enough. Brent V3 is calling him Chaz Carter now.
Not bad.
Boo Coleman.
Coastal Vol says, Heupel has a locker room issue every damn year, all caps.
I mean, yeah. If you look at it, he kind of does.
Do you think that everybody has locker room issues and we just don't know about it? I'm sure that Cignetti has locker room issues. He might deal with it a little swifter and more forcefully than Heupel, but locker room issues are just baked into the cake in college football at any level of football.
Yeah, but word always gets out, and it's always, we've had in the past 15 years, we've had, 2 alleged beatings.
Again, I think that's something that is fairly common, has been fairly common in college football since the olden times.
One fell on a helmet, I think was that story for the alleged
that was like 3 coaches ago. Come on now.
All right. I mean, Heupel's had one of those.
Be kind.
Big Joe Milton allegedly took umbrage with.
Oh, he should have.
Jeremy Banks stepping on the tee.
He should have
given his push-ups.
The problem was he should have kicked Jeremy Banks off the team in retrospect. Yeah. He should have kicked Boo Carter off the team in retrospect. And
he should have gone out and gotten a quarterback instead of waiting until spring practice is over.
Let's stay on the one complaint at a time, please. Okay. Stay on the discipline thing as it pertains to Chaz Coleman. And, you've got to keep that in mind. I think if you're Josh Heupel right now, it's like, hey, I handled the last 2 with kids. Now, maybe Jeremy Banks and Boo Carter were cut from a different cloth. We don't know Chaz Coleman yet. Maybe he's not the same type of character issue that the previous 2 were. But I think it definitely had an impact on team morale that showed up on the field.
Absolutely it did.
And that's what worries me here is this going to show up on the field? Even if Chaz Coleman doesn't show up on the field,
right?
Because you told him, I'm sorry, but you're not going to be on the team with us this year. Maybe if you get your off the field stuff straightened out, like we can talk then. But even if he doesn't show up in that scenario and you're worse for it, you don't have a dynamic guy off the edge, I think you'll gain the respect of your team, your leaders. And we can keep going on this topic all day long, but the other what if here is, again, with Jeremy Banks and Boo Carter, it's pretty clear that they were not popular guys on the team. They were not well liked by their teammates. I don't know if that's the
same
situation.
That'll play into it.
Sure.
Because if his teammates really see that this guy's not, he's not I can't, the only word I can think of, I can't say on air. he's not like the other two were, and it's obvious that he's just got something going on with depression or something. That might make a big difference on how well he's welcomed back into the fold. Whereas, Jeremy Banks and Boo Carter are kind of birds of a feather.
Yeah, I think though, if you, I think that's a fair point, Bear. But I also worry, like, think about the locker room, and I'm thinking about kids, and everybody knows what everybody's making these days, and I just worry that they're like, hey man,
resentment.
Yeah,
sure.
And I don't want to minimize it or make it sound trite, but if it's like homesickness or something like that, people are like, man, $2 million a year.
I'm homesick too.
Come on, man. I mean, I guess what I'm getting at, I don't know what's going on in Coleman's head. So, again, could be some serious stuff. We have no idea. But I think we're assuming a lot of these guys in the locker room are going to just be like, hey, it's going to be okay, buddy. I don't know if they will be.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's basically what I said. That's a $64,000 question.
Yeah. I'll go live in Newport for $2 million. No offense.
Would you live in Tuscaloosa?
Happily. With bells on. I'll still be strutting around in the orange and white, but
Harlan County.
Wouldn't
matter.
I'd live in Baghdad. I'd live in downtown Tehran for $2 million. Hell yeah. I mean, keep going.
You wouldn't go?
No.
Riyadh? Fallujah?
Okay.
I mean, if it's like an active war zone and I know 100% I'm going to die, I'll probably take a pass.
100%. I mean, Islamabad, you could grow your beard out. You could pass for a local.
I think you could probably pass anyway if you just kind of kept to yourself and didn't bother anybody. Where on this earth could I go where I'm 100% going to be killed just for being me?
Numerous places, several places in
like
Africa.
Mogadishu, you think?
Oh, yeah.
Can't just walk down the street.
In Somalia? Yemen.
Nigeria, I think they're going through a pretty bloody civil war. Like Southern Sudan, those folks, Boko Haram probably would not welcome me with open arms.
You'd be stoned to death, I would imagine. Get your head cut off on camera.
This is quite a left turn from
Syria, Lebanon.
Don't take kindly to the infidels.
No. Pretty much anywhere probably in Pakistan.
Here, the Gaza Strip is beautiful this time of year.
That'd be another place.
Don't think I'd
and the way you like to joke, Riyadh would be a real struggle for you.
Oh, I would tamp down the jokes a little bit now. It wouldn't be.
You wouldn't be busting balls the way.
No, man. There would be no Hitler or 9/11 jokes.
I mean, Bob.
Maybe they would find that stuff funny.
Imagine Bob calling the king fat in the Bob way that he does when he's busting on Heupel.
I don't bust on Heupel. I'm busting on Heupel today, but not for.
You're slick about it.
We're an hour in. There's 2 more hours. You've got some sort of completely unnecessary and unsolicited, I might add, cheap shot.
You got a saw
brewing inside you. You're thinking about it right now. I can see you. You can't help yourself.
Just a verbal sawed-off pool cue filled with lead shot that you're going to hit one of our coaches over the back of the head with.
Not true.
Or our former VFL hype guy.
SEC spring meetings continue in Destin. We'll have some of the highlights for you coming up next on the Top 4 at 4. Plus, we'll get back into Tennessee baseball as the Volunteers going to roll the dice a little bit with Evan Blanco going, and Landon Mack will be along for the ride. Will we see him this weekend? We'll talk about that when we continue. Stay with us. The Drive, hour number 2, coming up next right here on Fan Run Radio. Hour number 2 of the drive underway. It's Fan Run Radio and the Top 4 at 4, brought to you this afternoon by our friends over at Knoxville Smiles. Number 1, kickoff times announced for Tennessee's first 3 college football games of the season today. The Vols will open the season against Furman, a 3:30 kickoff inside Neyland Stadium. Game will be on the SEC Network, plus in what will be Tennessee's streaming game. Already ready for the frantic texts from Bear. Where's the game? Where's the game? How do I pull it up?
I do love seeing the breadcrumbs getting laid out of all the games. Not all of them yet, but I mean, not just our games, but just college football in general. We need that right now.
Week 2, Georgia Tech game will be a 7 p.m. kickoff on ESPN. And you were saying that we're part of a monster 3-game slate that day?
Well, we're as it turns out, I thought we were, but we're actually on ESPN. But ABC's got a triple header that day starting at noon, and it's Arizona State at I forget which SEC school, and then you've got Alabama, Kentucky at 3:30, and then Ohio State and Texas going on up against our game at 7:30. Yeah,
I'm afraid too. The next game, Kennesaw, is going to be a 7:30 kickoff on the SEC Network, and that's going to be happening during Ole Miss LSU.
Yeah, that first game on ABC that day's Arizona State at Texas A&M. So, boy, what a bunch of games. And and you're right about
if there's one regular season game you definitely want to watch live. I don't want to.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there watching Kennesaw State.
Yeah.
While the world might be ending in Oxford, and we're sitting there watching Kennesaw. What kind of suck. Number 2, Tennessee announcing its pitching matchup for the game against East Carolina on Friday. Evan Blanco gets the ball for the Volunteers. Asked why, Josh Elander today said the big thing was maturity and strike throwing, but also he's pitched in the College World Series and he's pitched in the postseason.
I trust Josh on this one. We teased this one out yesterday saying we wanted Coons, and I get it. I'll tell you what, if we can just get through that first game, I'll feel really, really good with Coons going up against Carolina.
Yes. But my theory here is that Coons and his people are not going to want him to pitch twice in a weekend. I think Blanco is more of, he knows that this is probably his last chance on the big stage. He's probably not a big league guy. And he's like, whatever, man, let's use it up.
Yeah.
Let's go out guns blazing. And so he may be able to pitch Monday again. I see him pitching Friday and then being available out of the pen on a day where I think we're going to play, man. I think we're going to be playing Monday night for shot at the Super Regionals with all sorts of tension. I think it's going to be a wild weekend, man. I think it's going to get nuts.
And Elander's already said that he's that both Arvidsson and Appenzeller, the A-boys, they're going to be prepared to pitch multiple times over the weekend.
Interesting. I mean, I think what are you saving it for? I get if you're Coons and you're a first rounder, okay, man. I don't like that, but I kind of get it. But if you're not a big league prospect, I don't think Arvidsson and Blanco are. Appenzeller might be, but yeah. Hey, man, give me the ball.
And if we could get a stint from Mac that's effective for 3 to 4 innings, not a full game.
Let's circle back to that because we need to get into that a little bit. Yeah. East Carolina countering with Ryan Towers. He's not their ace. Ethan Norby is the Pirates' usual Friday night starter. They are saving him for the second game. Towers compiled a 7-3 record with a 3.04 ERA and a 1.18 WHIP in 15 appearances, including 13 starts this season. Those are good numbers.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, like I said, he started out like kind of I looked at his game log, and it's like an inning here, 2 innings there, but then the back half of the season, they started leaning on him pretty heavily. And that stat I threw out, that those compliments, I think of not Coastal Ball, but GBO Kyle Beach, that the kid's only given up 6 home runs the whole season, keeps the ball in play. That's interesting.
Towers not overpowering on the mound. He features a 4 picks mix, including a fastball that sits 88 to 90 to go along with a curve, a changeup, and a slider. Throwing junk.
Yep.
Sometimes, like the Vitello era, sometimes that has been our bugaboo.
Yeah.
Particularly lefties that just ton of spin, a lot of 79 mile per hour curves coming in.
Total junk balls.
Remember, was it 23 when we lost, when LSU eliminated us in Omaha? They brought in a reliever who pitched it's like 6 or 7 innings.
There's been I feel like Georgia Tech got us with one of those guys.
Yeah.
There's been numerous times where we've been playing, like Campbell had one of those where it's a good pitcher.
Yeah.
The guy knows how to pitch. Not overpowering stuff, not big league stuff, but can locate and change speeds, and that's difficult to deal with.
Save the last couple of games, but I felt like we've had one of those most of the season. I think Blanco's that kind of pitcher too. Not overpowering, but just gets outs. But it's been a little rough the last few outings for him.
Number 3, a group of U.S. senators introduced a new wide-sweeping piece of legislation Wednesday that aims to address many of the current issues in college sports, including an effort to restore some rule-making power to the NCAA and open the possibility for conferences to sell their lucrative television rights as one group. They're calling it the Protect College Sports Act. Some of the highlights: limiting athletes to transferring schools only one time without penalty. I think we'd all like that. Limiting athlete eligibility to a maximum of 5 years. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Prohibiting former professional athletes from playing in college. I think everybody is fine with that.
Yes.
And then prohibiting schools from poaching a coach from another school during their sports season in what people are already describing as the Lane Kiffin rule.
Amen.
How are you going to enforce that?
I don't know.
I don't understand how they're going to enforce half that. The thing's destined to wind up directly back in federal court.
Well, the transfer thing too, what they've to clarify, at least my interpretation of it was the one-time transfer would be in the kind of the current conditions where you could just transfer and go to the school next year. In special circumstances, you could then apply for consideration to have sit out a year and transfer, but it would have to be approved under certain grounds. And I'm all for getting their arms around this thing, but I agree with you, Bear. I don't know how easy it's certainly not going to be fait accompli that they walk in, say this is the legislation, and it's going to go. Won't work that way.
No. Well, this is, the Senate wouldn't introduce it unless they had the votes to pass it.
Right.
There's already much wailing and gnashing of teeth in the House, so that's a process. And then, assuming there's a big assumption that you could get it through Congress, signed both houses, signed by the president, then you get into the courts. That could end up playing out over years. I appreciate the effort, though, man, because everybody's walking around. Nobody will get a handle on this. Nobody will do anything. And hell, man, how long do you think if they go down the collective bargaining route? How long is that going to take? So I think fans are just, hey, man, just figure it out, man. Make college sports again, however you have to do it. And I feel like it's so low-hanging fruit just to point to Congress and say, those guys are clowns on both sides, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, at least they're trying, man. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of trying happening from the conference side. They're just looking for the next big TV check.
Right.
it still really doesn't address what the biggest problem is that nobody will follow any of the rules that they all agreed to, and there's nobody to enforce it.
Well, I mean, this would be federal law. So
I just think it'll be years between the court cases and getting them. If it
would, but just imagine, if you will, like Lane Kiffin on the stand going to prison for violating.
The FBI shows up in Baton Rouge.
Oh, man. Be fantastic. Oh, the music ran out. Number 4, Major League Baseball. A couple games going on this afternoon. Bottom of the 4th in Sacramento. Mariners leading the A's 5-0. Tony Vitello and the boys playing the Diamondbacks. Game 2 of that series. Scoreless in the second. Scoreless in the top of the first. Phillies, Padres just getting underway in San Diego. Couple of finals for you. Blue Jays beat the Marlins 2-1. Guardians beat the Nationals 3-2. And the Brewers beat the Cardinals earlier today by a score of 2-1. Did you guys see the
pitcher?
The Uribe from the Brewers hit the DX?
And he did the
with
full
gusto
on X-Pac Degeneration X
3 times, 3 pumps.
Billy Gunn,
3 pumps.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think did you see it, Bob?
I did not. I've read about it, but I didn't see it.
I think, and he strikes the guy out. Well, it was interesting, right? Because it was a called strike 3 that was challenged. The challenge confirmed the strike 3, but can you imagine hitting the DX suck it 3 times?
Right.
And he wasn't doing it to the batter. He turned and did it to the opposing team's dugout.
Yeah.
3 times.
Full on.
I know we're getting into Key and Peele, like 2 pumps, 3 pumps, Hinkle McCrinkleberry territory, but like his manager gave him an earful. That's not how we do things in the big league, son.
He said that he apologized to his teammates afterwards, but he said part of it was that he was spun up because he saw, apparently he interpreted that the Cardinals manager had said that they wanted to hit one of the batters on the Brewers. So he was.
It made me long for the Attitude Era of WWE. It was perfectly that guy watched a lot of wrestling.
Sure.
You don't learn how to do that perfectly without. It takes some practice.
I mean,
it's not a simple move, Russ. It's not.
It's really, the DX suck it is not a simple move.
When you do it correctly the way he did. That was a work of art last night.
What is complex about the DX?
Well, you gotta coordinate, the hip thrust with the chop, with the X.
Sounds pretty easy.
Nod in the head. The look you got to give the person you're giving it to.
See, I think there were a couple of different variations of it. Like he just hit like Triple H did a thing where you can watch on YouTube here, where he kind of leaned into it a little bit, where he would do. Then he would but
he was kind of a stiff person.
I liked that though. I thought that was
Uribe was more of
he
other.
Was pretty flexible.
Yeah,
those thrusts were intense,
violent, one might say.
Yes.
Now I got to check it out.
It's absolutely hysterical. At first I was like, holy blank. I was like, this guy really just hit the DX?
I mean, if they had overturned that, if that had been a ball and then the guy had hit a home run after he went with the triple suck it,
he'd had the walk.
Oh, that would have been brutal.
I feel like this should be Joshy Boy's favorite player.
Even Liam Doyle at his unhinged best would never hit him with 3 pumps.
Yeah,
Never.
But Gilbert might.
Did you see that celebration?
I heard it's been outlawed.
It's pretty good. So Drew Gilbert, the team wins and they do an outfield celebration. He hit him with the full McCrinkleberry pump. The guy fell down, pump, and then the other guy fell down. It's pretty good.
What the hell's wrong with him?
Baseball guy. He's got attitude. He's got charisma. He's got chutzpah.
It's a throwback.
As they say in the old country.
The Spaceman. What was that guy's name? Remember that guy, Bob?
Bill Lee.
Yeah. Complete nutball.
I don't know if he ever did any thrusting.
No. Bill Lee did some thrusting, let me tell you. Knoxville Smiles, online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Call and schedule your next teeth cleaning or tooth cleaning if you're up there in Kentucky listening this afternoon. knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles. Go open lines this hour if you want to jump in. 865-966-3435, your phone number. 966-3435. Let's talk to Jamie. Good afternoon, Jamie. You're on the drive.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, what's going on, man?
So I was just catching up on the show yesterday. Y'all hit on your favorite 80s shows. Did anybody mention Simon and Simon?
I've never heard of Simon and Simon.
I have.
I've heard of it.
I never watched it.
Yeah, it was not on my list.
Oh, it was cool. You guys are missing out.
Simon and Simon.
You remember Venus Flytrap from WKRP?
Yeah,
incredible.
Tim Reed.
Yeah, he was in that show. And then two guys that I haven't seen in anything else since. But
yeah, Gerald McCraney, he was the mustached guy. He did some other stuff, but the other dude, the kind of blonde haired guy, I can't even recall the name, and I don't think he did much besides that role.
But Bear, I was surprisingly, I lined up with you. I was big WKRP guy, and the young ones, I've got them on disc.
That's some of the funniest stuff ever, and just a bizarreness. Madness. Remember when Madness showed up and just started playing in their living room?
Yeah.
And Motorhead.
Motorhead, that's right. I don't want to dethrone the show, but I was calling, listening to, getting caught up with today's show, and this whole thing with Chaz Coleman. And I was, trying to get on Twitter, and there's that picture of him fanning his money. And I just had a question: why do they always hold their mouths like that?
Who is fanning his money?
Chaz. There's a when you get on Twitter and you type in his name to see what's going on with him, there's a picture of him fanning his money that I guess we paid him to do absolutely nothing. And he's holding his mouth like he's got a grill. I didn't see a grill.
Yeah.
It's
not great.
Look.
Yeah, not great messaging. I don't know, man. Like these kids don't know any better and don't have anybody to tell them better.
Yeah.
And
maybe brings me to my question for the panel. Which is more extreme, Heupel's offensive prowess or his lack of ability to be a head coach?
Well, I don't think he has a lack of ability to be a head coach. You don't win some of the games he's won and had the success he's had without an ability. Now, his ability to be a head coach might not be on par with other elite coaches or as high as you want it to be, but I don't think you could say he has an inability to be a head coach.
He just does some stupid stuff, man. Around his, there's just a lot of nonsense around his program. That's just, year in, year out.
I mean, Kirby Smart, I would argue that Kirby Smart, and I think we would all agree that he's much more successful than Josh Heupel. I would argue that he has a lot more nonsense around his program than Josh Heupel. Our football team, they might lack in brain cells occasionally, but they are not, I would not label them a menace to the Knoxville metropolitan area. Kirby Smart's team is dangerous. Like they put lives in danger. They've already killed people. They put lives in danger, and he's shown no inclination to do anything about it. So who's failing at being a head coach?
Well, I mean, there's degrees to this. It seems like every year we always see something ridiculous. I hope this is not just on Heupel. I hope this is countrywide, across the board of college football. But paying guys to come here to play football that never play football for us and they get their whole check. I mean, are we going to fix that? Or is that just something you have to live with? Or is that something we're doing, that UT's struggling with? That's bad business. If the kid's not going to play here, give us our money back. I don't understand that. I don't know. I know we're still in the adolescence era of this NIL stuff. So,
and there are no rules.
I just can't. Yeah,
there are no
crazy,
rules.
Man.
If there are no consequences, then there are no rules. So you don't have to give him the money. I mean, you can cut him loose. You can cut him loose today. But you're not going to have a talented edge rusher next year.
Man, and that was, of course, leave it to us. That was our best guy. Well, guys, I'm gonna get out of the way. I just this stuff, it's depressed me, and it's made me look. You know, I see 3 or 4 years down the road, Danny White's no longer here, and that big eyesore's over there that's going to be there for the rest of our lives. You know, and we're all flashing around in the new and improved Adidas, and you know, and Vitello's coaching for Arkansas. Y'all hang in there.
Well, you paint such a rosy picture, Jamie.
I'm looking at this stuff now. It is.
Yeah, somebody sent it to me too.
It's pretty gross.
I mean, that's him. Like, I don't even know what he looks like. That's Chaz Coleman. He's in front of a car with money spread out and showing off a grill and everything. It's a kid, man. It's like these kids.
Yep.
You have, the educational thing has always been kind of a joke for as long as anyone can remember, right? If you could run with the ball or throw it or sack the quarterback, they just sort of shuffle you along through the system.
Yeah.
But we've gotten to a point now, not to get political or, way into heavy society topics, but public education system is broken. Like, to get a decent education, like your parents have to force you to get it. It's not just going to happen on its own. And so these are the kids that are showing up in college. And now there's zero academic responsibility in a land of online courses and everything. They're not learning anything. So, I mean, you've got some really dumb kids on these football teams. I'm not just singling out Tennessee. It's nationwide. Like the kids are dumber than ever. And now we've given them millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So what do you think? You give the dumbest people in society a ton of money
whose brains aren't fully matured.
It's not going to go well.
No, I mean, I can speak to this. One of my dearest friends, and we've talked about it. But his parents were sadly they perished in a plane crash when he and his brother and sister were going on.
Sorry about that.
His brother and sister were in high school as well. And they were left a bunch of money, and they had some people who were helping them manage it, but not entirely. And I mean, these guys, they just
flew through it.
They just blew through so much money, man.
It's awful, man.
I mean, just because they're kids, man, they didn't have any direction. And that's what's going on here. And that's amplified. They weren't getting $1 million. I promise you that, or 2 million, So, some of it is kind of, I hate to say it, but it's kind of like, what did we expect? For the very reasons you're saying. It's like kind of a byproduct of schools and everything else.
And it's just, I mean, it's really a metaphor for a lot of things in society, but like $2 million a year, like you play here like $4 million, probably not enough to live on for the rest of your life. But also like if you invest it wisely, like it kind of is, man. If you invest it,
I can stretch a dollar.
If you invest it wisely and you live within on your budget, like it can really change your life and your family's life. And that doesn't look like a young man who is
fiscally responsible,
mutual funds and IRAs and tried to, set himself up for the long run.
Every day. I mean, you see these stories every day, and it's not just this kid. It's, it's a little bit different situation. The Sorsby kid, making
that guy.
Horrific decisions.
That poor guy. Yeah, I have a thought on that whole situation for you when we continue. 865-966-3435. You want to chime in. 966-3435. It's Fan Run Radio. Back with more right after this.
The Drive.
The flagship station for Tennessee
your free Fan Run app. We are streaming on the Fan Run Sports YouTube channel. Shout out to the YouTubers. Please like and subscribe. And we have a podcast available wherever you listen to podcasts. It's brought to you by our friends over at Broadway Carpets, and we appreciate their support of the show. Danny White's Perm says, can you imagine if we had Brendan Sorsby to add to this mix?
Yeah, I saw the same from somebody on the live chat too. I mean, we would be the laughing stock of every fan base. College football, man, that'd be brutal.
I don't think the Chaz Coleman thing breaks through, man. I think the Sorsby thing is a national story because it's gambling. I don't know that anybody outside of Knoxville knows what's going on with Chaz Coleman.
Except wasn't he arguably the number one defensive asset that came out? I mean, that's all. Not so much the backstory. I agree with that. I don't think people would care about that, but be like, oh, you lost two, you know?
So Sorsby has his appeal shot down by the NCAA yesterday.
Which I agree with.
The school is going to bat for him. Hey, this guy has a problem. He has an addiction, right? So this is like, out of his control. And he should be allowed to play. They're going to bat for him. Keep in mind, this is a guy who is admitted to gambling on his own team when he was at Indiana. Was it Cincinnati, right? Was he at Indiana too?
He was at Indiana, then Cincinnati.
He admitted to gambling on his team when he was at Indiana.
Correct.
Which, first of all, they all tell you, they have these classes, right? The coach will tell you over and over and over again, don't gamble, don't gamble, don't gamble. Get the apps off your phone. Don't gamble. And they especially tell you, anybody who grew up in the Pete Rose, it's on you don't gamble on your own team. You don't gamble, first of all. The cardinal sin is you don't gamble on your own team or you're donezo. No discussion about it. No, I have a problem or something. So this guy's saying he has a problem, and they're framing it as it's an addiction issue. And, I'm sorry. There's still consequences. If you get drunk, if you're an alcoholic and you get arrested for drunk driving, you can't say, well, I'm an addict. You still have to go to jail.
Yeah.
You still have to go to court and everything. Yeah. And at a certain point, if you keep on doing it because you're it's a tragic, I'm sorry that you're an alcoholic. Mm-hmm. Alcoholism is terrible, but eventually you're going to get your license taken away. We tell you can't drive it where we should, but I'm sorry, you don't get to do this anymore. You can't say.
What if you've got an opiate addiction? You can't, and you worked at a pharmaceutical place. You can't. You can't continue to work.
Well, yeah, there. You have opiate addiction in your workplace drug tests. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's company policy. You can't be on drugs and work here.
Yeah. Pick a career where you can.
So I hate it for him because, you talk about this is probably since Pete Rose, the biggest he threw it all away thing that we've had in sports because of gambling.
Yeah, how many NFL teams are going to want to take a flyer on somebody like
I don't think any of them will.
He just destroyed his life.
Yeah, and Pete Rose, his career was over. Is just being banned from the Hall of Fame and managing. But this guy is just
the beginning.
Yeah, he threw away $5 million this year, and then whatever he had coming in professional football after that.
No one's bigger than the game itself in any of this stuff.
I don't know, Bob. Do you think that does this guy get a shot in the NFL? He admitted to gambling on his own team. He says he's got a problem.
The NFL has looked the other way for, frankly, worse than this. Physical, domestic abuse, other things. I hate to say it, but yeah, I think he might get a shot in the NFL.
Speaking of, go ahead.
They've certainly come down hard on players who are in their prime, most notably Calvin Ridley, who have been caught gambling.
True.
He just placed a bet. It wasn't on football. Yeah. He placed a bet.
That's fair. And there's been some fringe players too. I know the Colts had a couple who got heavy suspensions for locker room betting and stuff like that. So that's a fair point.
You cross the Rubicon when you bet on a team or when you bet on a game that involves.
I mean, if you're
your
a
team.
if you're a fan, would you want a guy like that on your team? This is not Arch Manning, right? This is not Cam Ward. This is not Peyton. Like, this is a guy who's kind of like he's a prospect for sure,
tweener.
But I mean, you would always be wondering, right? Anytime he had a bad game, you'd be like,
yeah,
the money on the other team.
Yep.
I don't know if I would want that in my organization. Let's get Roberto in here. Roberto, you're on the drive. It's Fan Run Radio.
Good afternoon, guys.
What's up?
I do think Brendan Sorsby probably gets a run in the NFL. It's probably going to be like somebody like the Browns. I mean, they have a known sexual harasser as their quarterback currently, so why wouldn't they give a guy with a gambling addiction? I don't know.
Because one doesn't affect the integrity of the game. I mean, I would think that would be how they would make the moral, the splitting of hairs morally.
Could he enter the supplemental draft? I thought they got rid of that.
I'm not sure if they.
I don't know.
I think it still exists. Isn't
that like in August or sometime, or July maybe?
Yeah.
Do some research.
I mean, Basilio was saying he's going to enter the supplemental draft. So
okay. It was somebody. Yeah, somebody else just texted me that.
Jason Campbell was a supplementary draft guy
from Auburn.
Yep.
Wow, I didn't know that. Hey, Bob, I'd like to talk about the Indianapolis 500 if we can do that for a second. Is that okay?
Sure.
Yeah, you weren't kidding. That was a wild, wild scene. Nobody told me about the snake pit. Bob, do you want to tell the folks out there in listener land about the snake pit?
Yeah, the snake pit's the infield at the track. And by the way, it used to be a lot worse, Roberto. There used to be
really
way back in the day when I was a little guy. You know, I'd be like, "Oh, that person's naked across the way."
Oh yeah,
I mean, there was
there were apparently some sexual proclivities going down in the infield this week. There were some of that.
Like a real family atmosphere, huh?
Yeah, you don't want to have a family outing at the race if you're going into the infield. That's not going to work for you. You got to stay over on the bleacher side.
They have Russ. They have like a DJ for like 12 hours.
Yeah, like a big club.
Just Sterl for 12 hours straight, just nonstop.
Not quite as loud. I probably could have heard Sterl from the catacombs of the track, but
you don't want a T-shirt.
But they have like a rave type DJ. So
it's similar to the infield.
People doing Molly and
right?
E.
Yeah.
Wild stuff.
It is.
It's wild.
Yeah. So it's kind of a tale of two cities. And then as I said yesterday, you've got such a cross section of, people like that are dirty, sweaty, drunk, inebriated in some form or fashion. And then you have other, people sitting up in the pagoda area that are, high rollers. It's probably kind of like the Kentucky.
Yeah, they're like in not suits, but like sport coats and stuff.
Exactly.
I mean, I saw some people in sports coats.
Yep.
Yeah, it was an interesting cross section of humanity. Don't miss, if you ever get to go, I do recommend going. And if you do go, don't miss get there at 6 a.m. and do the whole thing. Go there for the cannon shot, the fireworks, do it all. Don't miss the parade. Don't miss all the pre-game stuff or pre-race stuff. Absolutely 10 out of 10. And the fact that it was the closest Indianapolis 500 ever was actually pretty neat. Did y'all actually watch it? Did anybody actually watch it besides Bob?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Bear's a huge Indy 500 fan.
Big IndyCar fan.
What did you think about that pass that guy made in the last straightaway?
I don't know. I mean, I was a little disappointed. He turned his teammate out because his teammate had to back. It was either they were going to hit,
put him in the wall.
Yeah, it was either he backs out or they were both going into the wall.
I swear it looked like the more I watch it, it looks like they touched tires.
I think they did.
And the other part about it I don't like is I think that whole deployment gizmo should be turned off at like 4 laps to go.
The push to pass, the P2 stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that's how he beat him.
Yeah.
He deployed because you can hear it on the radio call.
Yep.
Deploy.
Are you guys speaking English right now? I mean,
there's a button they can push on the steering wheel. It's like a hybrid system. You charge up this battery. When you push the button, it gives you boost.
It's like a turbo in a video game?
Basically, yeah.
It's actually kind of cool. I get a turbo.
I think it's pretty cool if you deploy and you use it right on the last.
It's like a mushroom in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Maybe that's what they ought to bring in next is the heat-seeking red shell, Russ.
We need prizes. You get stars.
Millions of dollars. That's pretty good.
You're knocking off cars left and right as you go.
Yeah.
Little shells that you can fire behind you.
Maybe NASCAR ought to start that. They're losing their fan base.
That's what I'm saying, man. I got
don't know,
ideas.
man. I was just calling in to tell, because Bob and I had texted back and forth. I was just wanting to say, if you get a chance, guys, absolutely go. It's incredible. And then as far as Tennessee baseball is concerned, yesterday you guys were talking about who to start. I think they're starting the wrong guy on Friday, too. I think they should start Appenzeller. I know that's probably not a popular opinion, but if you want, he's going to have to do something for you to win a game. And I think you have a better chance at winning a game with him against ECU than you would against UNC, who, let's say we beat ECU with him or don't, it doesn't matter. You still get Blanco in the closer role, like for that you could be eliminated role, and you're still getting Coons against UNC one way or another, or your elimination game. So I don't see why you wouldn't trot out Appenzeller. I thought he was pretty good against South Carolina, and I think ECU is probably better than South Carolina, but not that much better. ECU had to get on a heater just to get in the tournament. So for me, I would have said Appenzeller, but they're obviously going Blanco, and that's fine. But I don't trust Appenzeller in a you have to beat UNC again role. I just don't see that. I would rather pitch him against a lesser than team. And then I proposed this the other day, and I'll hold it up to you guys again. Could Mac, they announced today he's on the day-to-day, and he's going to be traveling with the team. I don't think he's going to be a starter. I don't. But could they please put him in the bullpen and give us like an inning or two out of him? Because our righties are abysmal, and he would give us some velocity potentially and a good breaking ball out of the pen, and you can almost use him in like a mid, like a late closer type role even. So I'll leave you guys with that. I hope you have a great day. Go Vols.
Thanks, Roberto. Assuming he even pitches, it's going to be fascinating to see how they use Landon Mack. Because on one hand, I'm kind of with Roberto. It's like if you have trouble somewhere, you maybe get him in there. But the more I think about it, maybe use him as an opener and see how far he can go.
Mm-hmm.
Because he hasn't pitched in so long. I'm a little bit hesitant to when was the last time that dude warmed up during a game?
He could, when you put it in that kind of framework, he could be kind of important on Sunday if we're having a 2-game day, right?
Yeah,
like have him as an opener.
Absolutely. And Appenzeller and Arvidsson have both have experience coming out of the pen this year. They're kind of used to that. So I would hold them in those roles. I do wonder though. I mean, if this is a tight game Friday, and Blanco gets you 6 innings. Do you bring in Mack and see if he can close it out if it's kind of tight and try and save Appenzeller and Arvidsson for later in the weekend? Or are you looking at it like Appenzeller, Arvidsson, or both are going to have to pitch twice, and so you go ahead and use them on Friday? That's a lot of lefties.
Sure is.
That's something I noticed about that game against Arkansas. Was just lefty after
lefty.
Well, we threw them all out there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was Blanco started, and then Arvidsson came in, and then I think Chandler Day and Will Haas at one point came in. Actually, Arvidsson didn't come in, but we used all the other lefties that we had available at our disposal.
I do need to make a correction. Jason Campbell was not in the supplemental draft. I don't know where my brain conflated that with. Some notables, though, Chris Carter, Bernie Kosar, Josh Gordon, Brian Bosworth. And apparently it hasn't been done away with. It doesn't happen all the time. It only happens when a player is ineligible to continue in college football, whether academically or legally, And if they request to go in the supplemental draft and they get approval.
When is it?
It's
it
June
varies.
22nd.
Yeah.
So who would have the first pick?
It's an auction according to AI. It's an auction style thing.
So people would potentially be bidding on Brendan Sorsby?
Yeah.
And the thing is,
45-50, do I hear 60, 65, 70?
what I'm thinking though is June 22nd is going to come here pretty quickly. I mean, I would think that I don't know if he'd
He
still
ain't
be
playing
trying
college football.
I mean, he's out of appeal juice or what? I don't know. That's the question.
I mean,
he would be just by virtue of being a quarterback alone I can't imagine there would be a more valuable player in the draft.
No, that's what I'm saying. We talked about this whole thing a few minutes ago about some of the repercussions for pro football players that have done sports betting, and I get it. Sorsby's a quarterback. That's the difference. That's why I think he might get a look.
Quick timeout. The drive continues. More of your phone calls coming up.
The Drive. Streaming worldwide.
Edition of the show. Name in by June 22nd. Draft in late July, according to Brent V3. on the YouTube chat over there. JCart29 says Rudy and Mack out of the bullpen would be great to offset all the lefties.
That'd be true. It's got to be all hands on deck, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's now or never. I do like the offsetting thing. I mean, that's kind of why, like, I would be leaning towards using Mack as an opener. And like, how far can you get? Like, maybe he gives you, worst case scenario, he hurts himself and he can't go in warmups, or he's rusty and he can't get out of the first inning. But I would imagine, and we hear that he's been throwing bullpens. I'd imagine he can get you at least 2 or 3 innings.
Yeah, that's what I would think too.
And then you bring in one of the lefty long relievers, Appenzeller or Arvidsson, after that, ideally. And who knows? I mean, it's almost like in 2024 when we would start. Was it Stamos? Was the lefty? And he would. There were a couple of games where like he got it in a groove and he pitched 3 or 4 innings, and then AJ Causey would come in as a right sidearmer and shut you down. Most of the time, Stamos, there were a couple times he didn't even get an out.
I was going to say, like in Omaha, I thought last time I saw him, didn't he only face like 1 or 2 batters, and that was it?
But that was Tony's thing. I asked him about it, and he was like, you make the other team set up their batting order to face a righty or to face a lefty.
Yeah.
And they don't know how long you're going to stick with it. You might not stick with it much at all. But then all of a sudden you bring in the righty and they're set up to face a lefty, and they can't change unless they start going to their bench early.
Right.
So, I mean, that would be pretty tantalizing. Again, you got to win game 1, man. Got to win game 1. Got to stay out of that loser's bracket. But if you can do that and you don't have to use a ton of pitchers on Friday, and you got your ace going, Coons, on Saturday against North Carolina, kind of like our chances. Kind of like our chance. I think it's going to get nuts. I think it's going to be wild this weekend, and I think we're going to come back. Do we know what time the game Monday would be? I think it was like 5 o'clock last year.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have that pulled up in front of me. No, I don't. But I think... Yes, actually, I do. Let's see here. We need some filler music. Game would be at 5 p.m. if necessary. Actually, it says to be determined. So scratch that. I think we're going to be playing on Monday.
Yeah, 5 p.m. is the second Sunday game.
I think we're going to be playing on Monday. Chance to go to the Supers, and I've been saying it for weeks now. If we get to a Super, we're going to Omaha. And how wild would that be for Josh Elander in year 1? Not too shabby. Let's get Phil in here next. Phil, you're on the drive. It's Fan Run Radio. Hey, Philly.
Hope you boys had a good holiday.
Yeah, man, pretty good. Hope you did too.
There's a better chance Rick Barnes going to the Final Four than Elander going to the World Series this year.
You don't know that, Phil. You don't know that.
You sure don't know it either.
We are what? 5 wins away?
Yeah.
Don't you remember what? Hey, don't you remember what George Michael said? Speaking of the 80s, what did he say, Bob? What do you got to have?
Faith.
You got to have faith, Phil. You got to have faith. I know George Michael.
I'm glad Utah's probably starting to see a few things now. It's good. Heupel has no control over his team. That's what the problem is over there.
What does Kirby Smart have?
He's got 2 national championships.
Okay. Does he have control over his team?
He does on the field. He does, but he's on off the field. That's just like Fulmer. Fulmer had the same type thing. Except Kirby's a better coach than Fulmer.
I don't think you could say that Josh Heupel has no control over his team. You could say he's lax on discipline. You could say he lacks authority, accountability, some of those things. But I don't see this team running amok. They're a little sloppy. That shows up on the field at times. He needs to clean it up, man.
No attention to detail.
So,
when he's got close games this year, he's got to have attention to detail.
So how would
the game was disaster last year? Is that going to get fixed?
How do you?
So we got the same clown over there coaching it.
How should he handle this situation with Chaz Coleman?
I don't know. I'd say just get rid of him. I mean, it don't look good. I mean, I don't know what you can do.
Just go ahead and flush him?
Yeah, flush him.
Show of hands, should Tennessee get rid of Chaz Coleman?
If he's, I would add a asterisk to it. If he doesn't show up tonight, yes, I don't think there's any more conversation at that point.
And if he does, I agree. If he does show up tonight and he flakes out again, I would cut ties immediately.
Yep.
One more thing, Bob. I see where Marquez Clark's already in town. I saw his locker on the internet last night. So
yeah, I saw that.
All the players already there.
I don't know. I was kind of surprised to see that, Phil. It seems kind of early. I saw the big talking point there was his locker was full of Adidas product. So I guess maybe that transition's underway.
Well, I hope the uniforms look good because really, the basketball team has the best looking uniforms on campus over there. Vitale had good looking his uniforms. These uniforms this year in baseball suck.
Well, I mean, Tony designed them. They're Tony's uniforms.
Yeah.
I
guess he was going to be gone too. You know what I mean?
Didn't it seem weird seeing him sitting in the?
Thank you, Phil.
Didn't it seem weird seeing him in the Giants locker room talking about Tennessee in the regional? Did you see that?
Yeah, it was weird.
Just very surreal.
I couldn't watch it. I can't watch the Tony stuff. It hurts, man. It's like seeing your ex on a date with somebody else. It hurts.
You that way, Bear?
Yeah.
Guys sound so crestfallen.
I mean, it's
It's
not even been a year. Let me
Made
grieve.
sandwiches.
Let me grieve, Bob. Did you just let me grieve?
Sure.
I made sandwiches for him.
Invoice from Danny says, I can't wait to hang my Chaz Coleman jersey in my man cave. It'll look great next to my J.J. Peterson jersey. That's good. That's good. You need a Jeremy Banks and Boo Carter jersey to complete the whole look, though, I would say. Invoice from Danny. So sad. Oh, Tony, come back. Hey, when Big Josh Elander rolls into Omaha, Phil, you won't be talking about whatever you were just talking about, how we don't have any chance to go to College World Series Omaha this year. What did he say? Rick Barnes has a better chance going to the Final Four than Josh Elander does of taking this team to Omaha?
That might be true, but
you think Phil was spinning a lot of George Michael records at his place in the 1980s? He's a big Wham guy.
He'll love that song Monkey, that Wham song, or George Michael song.
He's a pretty big Beatles fan in all actuality.
Quick timeout. Hour number 3 of The Drive coming up. It's Fan Run Radio. for tuning in to The Drive. My name's Russell Smith, alongside Bob Baskerville and Bear. This is your Top 5 at 5, brought to you by ECR Total Landscapes. The big news today, first 3 games of Tennessee football's 2026 schedule. Kickoff times have officially been announced. The Vols will open the season against Furman. The Purple Paladins ride into Neyland Stadium for a 3:30 p.m. kickoff.
Furman's a pretty little campus.
My parents are Paladins.
We did a college visit there for my son.
Greenville's a fun town.
Yes, absolutely.
Think
nice spot.
I think Furman's going to get their teeth kicked in, though.
True.
They better. That'll be Tennessee's SEC Network Plus streaming game. Go ahead and get it out of the way. Game 2, Georgia Tech will be a 7 p.m. national TV broadcast on ESPN. Ramblin' Wreck, Georgia Tech. Did you see how they unveiled a new football facility that's tied into the stadium and everything last
No,
week?
I haven't seen that.
Really nice. Really nice dicks down there. You worried about that? I mean, we got one of the Mendoza kids starting. Jeff Collins coached defense. Is it Collins? Not who's the coach down there?
Brett Key.
Brett Key.
I'm still not sold on him as seems like a good head coach, but I mean, not like top tier.
We'd be a pretty big time scout for him to hang on his post. And then Kennesaw State. I'm going to Kennesaw. 7:45 p.m. kickoff. He's like an echo that I can't even begin to describe, but it haunts my dreams. 7:45 p.m. kickoff, SEC Network. I might have to go ahead and put in for off that night so I can watch Ole Miss LSU.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
I like zero interest. You can tell me about all the Jerry Mack storylines you want. I want to watch that game like I want to watch Bear getting a full body sponge bath at the local hospital.
Wow.
Thanks, Russ.
It's what I'm here for. You're welcome. Good visual. It's a visual element that you have to add to radio sometimes.
No, it's not
Me
good.
too.
Theater of the
Echo
mind.
thing.
You want people to be able to kind of see what you're talking about.
You keep that one as a theater of one, maybe.
Yeah.
Do that.
Number 2. Tennessee edge defender Chaz Coleman, absent from the back half of Tennessee's spring practice, now with a deadline to report for summer workouts. Coleman's status with the Vols continues to be monitored. Sources tell On3 that Coleman has yet to report to Knoxville. Voluntary workouts began earlier this week. Day at SEC spring meetings, Josh Heupel said, quote, Chaz has been dealing with some things, and we're here to support him. We'll continue to go through that process. I mean, Heupel's he's always so specific. It's like, whoa, Josh, TMI, Josh.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like, hey, you ever think about keeping something to yourself? Every thought you have doesn't have to come out of your mouth, buddy.
Something about Josh's mouth made me laugh. I don't know. Sorry.
Number 3, Tennessee baseball. Volunteers announced senior lefty Evan Blanco will start Friday night against East Carolina when it begins playing the NCAA baseball tournament. The Pirates will counter with Ryan Towers, a junior lefty. Not their ace. So both East Carolina and the Vols thinking, you know what? To win, we're going to have to beat North Carolina on their home field. Is it a little bit of a gamble? Yes, but we want to make sure that we have our ace available for that first confrontation with the Tar Heels. Probably going to have to beat them twice, for being honest.
I feel like it's a little disrespectful out of them. I think they can beat us with this guy.
I mean, if you want a bulletin board material, I suppose you could take it that way. I read it more And maybe they're playing the long game, but also like that dude Norby's pitched a lot. All right. Number 4, Major League Baseball scoreboard going on right now. We've got the Mariners leading the A's 6-0 in the bottom of the 7th. The Giants, Tony Vitello and the boys, taking care of the Diamondbacks so far. It's 2-0 in the 6th. Still scoreless in the 4th between the Phillies and Padres. Earlier today, it was the Blue Jays taking down the Marlins 2-1. The Guardians beat the Nationals 3-2. And the Brewers beat the Cardinals 2-1.
I forgot to ask Roberto. I've been wanting to do this for a little while. Did you know that the Chicago Cubs have lost 10 in a row?
Yeah.
Hate it for them.
They've won 10 in a row. They're one of, I can't remember what it was, like 2 or 3 teams in Major League Baseball history that have a 10-game win streak and a 10-game losing streak in the same season. Did you see the history your Yankees made last night?
No, but if you're bringing it up, I imagine it's bad.
I mean, like, you have such a negative opinion of me. I'm trying to give you a moment.
Honestly, I wonder why.
I'm trying to give you a moment to shine.
Why would it be that I would immediately be suspicious of anything that Russ does?
Trying to shine a light on your team and give you a moment in the sun.
I'm sure.
Hang on the rim for a minute, a little victory lap. It was the first time last night they beat the crap out of was it the Royals?
Yeah.
The first time in the history of the franchise that every player in the lineup has had at least 2 hits.
Wow. There was also some other weird stat. Whenever the Yankees play in Kansas City, their catchers hit out of their minds. Just some anomaly.
Think about it, the Babe and Gehrig, DiMaggio and Mantle, Mr. October, Jeter, all that. Never had a game. The storied history of the Yankees.
Everybody,
2 hits.
2 hits.
Just trying to be nice. You come off the top rope on me.
If you did it more often.
Uncalled for. Little uncalled for. You're a little out of line yourself. Apology would be nice. Apology, Senator. This committee owes an apology. I'm sorry.
Your behavior usually towards me is reprehensible.
I'm sorry.
A lot of projection from that side of the glass.
A
lot of projection.
By the way, and
big word for a little man.
I didn't weigh in time, so my bad on this. But that pitcher for East Carolina, he wears the Rex specs too.
Oh, we're doomed.
I know.
Damn it.
I know. I just saw that look, and I was like, that guy's going to deal on us.
Don't have that attitude, Bob. We'll rock his damn world. How about that? Put him in the washing machine.
By the way, I meant to mention this both times. Top 4, top 5. Reese Chapman also is given the green light today.
What a tough dude.
So he will be in right field.
Fractured face, and he's still going to play.
It's going to take more than a broken face to keep Reese's boy Chapman out of the lineup. The Chap Dog, the Reese-meister, Reese's Pieces.
Chappie Quiddick. That's not good.
Why you have to bring up a national tragedy. R.I.P. Mary Jo Kopechny.
Hey, a couple of our buddies
Too soon.
In the YouTube chat are quick to point out that the reason they're probably not throwing Norby against us is he pitched twice.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. Yeah.
Number 5.
That's what I'm talking about right there. I mean, everybody else
just listen to the show. Just listen. Put your phone down. Listen to it. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have anything going on over there.
Okay, no, I don't. I don't at all. Like Walker's not here. Why you do this?
I don't know, man. Like you do listen to the show.
Nobody else does.
Just listen.
Call him out the way you call me out, or don't do it at all.
Listen to the show.
I want you to have that same fire towards
just
everybody
listen
else
to the show.
Say
pay
attention. Say it to Walker when
just
they
pay
do
attention.
it. They do it, Russ.
No, they don't.
Yes,
this
they
is
do.
a you problem.
No, this is a you
problem.
Island. Accountability Island.
No responsibility.
You just want to take any opportunity you can to berate me.
Oh, calm down.
Thank you for your service.
Totally calm. Appreciate it, Bob.
Number 5. Officials in Wisconsin say a driver ignored a road closed sign and found out the hard way why the road was closed. What happened to the driver in Wisconsin?
I imagine the road ends at some point if they've got a road closed sign. So they either drive off
The road did not end.
There was another car coming.
There was no other car coming.
It was flooded.
With what?
Molasses.
Got stuck in concrete. Wet concrete, to be precise.
Oh.
Guy said this road closed sign don't apply to me. Road looks perfectly usable to me. I think I'm just going to drive right on by this road closed sign. What do you do? Like, they had pictures too, like the car, a truck in concrete, man. It's stuck. Not going anywhere.
Yeah. How's that happen, man?
People being idiots.
Yeah.
I mean, if it says closed, I mean, they're not just throwing it up there.
I got one for you. Whenever you're like returning a rental car, do you ever worry that you're going the wrong way over those spikes?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Hell yeah. The only time I've had that fear, though, was when I was returning the cars in L.A. because they had them. Had all these signs, so I stop and you have to read it to make sure.
It always crosses my mind, but it's like all you're doing is just what they told you to do.
As long as you go where they tell you.
Yeah.
But then you're like, did they really tell me to do that?
No.
And you're just playing out the scenario in your mind. They come out there, no, man, you were supposed to go the other way. What you told me to do? Why would you do that?
It was really bad. The one time it did happen really bad. It'd been like a 16-hour travel day. It was dark, and I was about half asleep and thought I was going to flatten all four tires.
That is the top 5 at 5. It's brought to you by the fine folks over at ECR Total Landscapes. Get 10% off your first month of their monthly maintenance package when you call today. Mention promo code FANRUN, and they are going to hook you up with ultimate lawn care. We're talking pulling the weeds in your flower bed. We're talking leaf blowing. We're talking trimming, mulching, and much, much more. They do it all. Let them do the heavy lifting so you're not out there in the hot summer sun sweating, breaking your back. They'll do it all. 10% off your first month when you mention promo code FANRUN. Reliable service, great results, and more free time for you. ECRTotalLandscapes.com or just call 865-384-2012. That's 384-2012 for ECR Total Landscapes. You were telling me Hunter Yurachek, the athletics director at Arkansas, not happy with the kickoff times that the Razorbacks have been given.
No, he put a letter out, I guess it's to the fan base, the Arkansas fan base. I'll just read it to you very quickly. You know, game times have been put out for some games already the first couple weeks of the season. That's what we've been talking about today. Well, Arkansas was no different. They had some game times as well. Hunter Yurachek, AD at Arkansas, has some thoughts. He says, I am extremely concerned and displeased about the recently released kickoff times for our football program in consecutive weeks this September and the impact that it will have on the well-being of our student athletes. ESPN has set our game for Utah for 9:15 p.m. Central Time on September 12th. We anticipate returning to campus at approximately 6 a.m. on Sunday, September 13th, followed by an 11 a.m. home kickoff against Georgia just 6 days later on September 19th. The assigned schedule will cost our student athletes nearly a full day of rest and recovery that they would otherwise have available to them. This is simply not a competitive disadvantage. It is a genuine welfare issue for the young men who represent our program
issue
and contribute greatly to the bottom line of our television partners. This type of scheduling is unacceptable.
God, he wrote a damn tome, didn't he?
I'm not done. This type of scheduling is unacceptable and demonstrates a clear neglect for the well-being of college athletes. I'm confident that there are not many other programs in the SEC that would be placed in a similar position, and I will not quietly accept it for our program. I have formally requested that the SEC office and ESPN aggressively pursue an alternative solution for one or both kickoff times during these consecutive weeks. The focus must be set on the well-being of the game's participants, not the bottom line of our media partners. Respectfully, Hunter Yurachek, Vice Chancellor and Director of Athletics. Like, come on, man.
Shut up, nerd.
They do have an insano schedule.
Yeah.
Like they're North Alabama at Utah and then Tulsa. They play Georgia, A&M, us, at Auburn, at Texas, LSU. I was reading, I think it's College Football News. They have ranked their schedule the hardest in the country. And I feel like it's been that way for years. Did we have that conversation about Sam Pittman? It's going to be hard for him to hold on against that schedule. It's going to be hard for him to hold on, first of all. But like you throw in that schedule, it's going to be even more difficult. And it's not the kind of thing fans typically take into account when they're wanting a coach out.
Well, somebody put in the comments, maybe Arkansas, you should just leave the SEC. And by the way, take Missouri with you.
Yeah. I'm hesitant to tell them to just shut up and deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've had the same conversation here, right? With our, and we're like, when you talk about it's, a tax on the student athlete welfare or something, it's like, okay, come on, man. Like, really? But we've had years where, man, are we going to get a night game? Are we going to get a night? Really? We just get one night game? A lot of 3:30 noon kickoffs. People don't like that. But this is the deal that these guys have made. And you have, what was the language he used at the end of that about the TV partners?
Yeah.
At a certain point, like they can't dictate everything. It's like, no, actually they kind of can, because you guys have given them all the power.
Well, and then somebody wrote in the comments, and this is interesting too. They said, so the Hogs are mad that they chose to play an out-of-conference game in the Mountain Time Zone, and ESPN, who doesn't outright own the Big 12 media rights, didn't provide enough muscle to set kickoff before 8:15 local. It's true. They're playing against a Big 12 team, so they probably don't care. They're probably like, okay, you go wherever you want to. The other thing that's the great irony here is Hunter's also wasn't he the head of the college football playoff selection committee?
I mean, who scheduled the Utah series? Like, what did you think was going to happen there?
Yeah.
And what is ESPN's obligation to you? I mean, I get it, 10-15 kickoff. Like, how much fun is that game going to be to watch late at night? But okay, the game gets done.
Well, it's 10-15 Eastern.
Yeah.
The game gets done, right after midnight local time, but you're probably not getting on a plane home until like 3 a.m. or so. And then it's a 4 or 5 hour process, probably getting home once you figure in.
He said they'll get back to campus, like probably to, get their players, get to their rooms, their cars, et cetera, 6 a.m. on Sunday.
Shouldn't have scheduled Utah.
Yeah.
And Georgia's their next game.
And it's an early start. And I'm wondering, I need to go back and look.
If only there was somebody at Arkansas, Bob, that had something to do with how these games came to be.
But hold on, like
it's a home game against Georgia too. I mean, it's not like they have to go back on the road to Georgia.
I don't want to get to a point though where we're discouraging teams from playing
games like this.
Yeah, I agree.
Greg Sankey yesterday says we're getting rid of Cupcake Weekend at the end of the season. It's like, why did we ever have Cupcake Weekend? And these coaches, man, these whiny ass coaches down there talking about how, we were misled. John Summerall said that we were misled on the 9-game conference schedule. We thought they were going to expand the playoff, and now we have all these really hard games. We have to play at least one power. You should play all Power 5 opponents, man. Arkansas should not. The tragedy of this situation is not that Arkansas has to play at Utah late on a Saturday and then come home and play Georgia. The tragedy is that they're playing Northern Alabama. And if the other schools, the other conferences aren't doing it, This conference used to lead, man.
Yeah.
We used to lead. Like we used to set the tone. We used to set the agenda in the Southeastern Conference, and everybody else followed. Well, I don't want to play a hard game because the Big Ten's not playing a hard game. Play a hard game, man. Like you can't shame them. Everybody wants to shame Indiana for their laughable non-conference schedule.
It's a joke.
But you can't really do that when you're playing Northern Alabama or we're playing Furman.
I agree.
Or Alabama's playing Chattanooga. Just shut up, dude. Like if you guys play, we only get 12 of these weekends. I know they want to add 15 more weeks at the end of the season, whatever. But the college football regular season is special. You get 12 of those games. Get rid of Northern Alabama. Get rid of Furman. Let them play each other. They'll be fine. Your interest in it will be the same. Virtually none. But, I mean, imagine playing, we have Georgia Tech. We play an ACC team this year. Imagine playing a Big Ten team and a Big 12 team to boot. Team from every league.
I'd love to see it. Might be tougher for the win-loss record, but at least you're playing,
Yeah, if we're going to have everybody in the playoffs, you might as well have a strong schedule. Make this all entertaining, make it more appetizing for the TV networks who are paying you more quality games that are going to be watched more. And then you can stand up and shame the Big Ten for their lousy non-conference schedule. Right. But until then, like you can't do it with a straight face. But these guys will say just about anything with a straight face. They're like
compulsive
many politicians. Liars. Yeah. All right, quick timeout, 865-966-3435. You want to jump in here. Tennessee, couple of night games to start the season. Your thoughts, 966-3435. More Fan Run Radio coming up.
The Drive.
Can't get enough Fan Run Radio?
He's got a little Pruitt to him, doesn't he? Kind of a slob. But
Pruitt or
no, Golding.
No, has he got a little bit of Pruitt in him, or he reminds me of Heupel?
Pete Golding does?
In like dress and like appearance, yeah.
He's not as much of a slob as Pruitt was, but they're surrounding him today down there at this thing, spring meetings, and asking him about the tampering allegations, right? The Clemson kerfluffle, whatever happened there. NCAA said they're investigating Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Golding says, quote, "I think a lot of things make headlines. There's a lot more people involved that everybody might not know. I'm not going to sit up here and say whatever we did or we didn't do, was it right or was it wrong? But when you go through what we went through and what you're seeing day in and day out, some things you feel like shouldn't matter that they're making a big deal about." Basically threatening to burn it all down. Everybody else is doing it defense. And if you want to get specific about it, I'm not going down alone. I'll take you all down with me, damn it.
I saw Topmeyer, our buddy Blake, called him out for it. Blake says, let him burn it down then. If Golding has receipts of other coaches cheating, show the receipts. Otherwise, this is bluster.
I need to rewind the tape for a second.
Yeah.
And note that 2 out of 3 of us just called a former coach and a current coach, said they look like slobs. And it was not me.
Yeah.
It was not me that said it. It was you guys.
Yeah. Pete Golding and Jeremy Pruitt. Jeremy Pruitt especially. Jeremy Pruitt was a slob. Did not look like he was a slob.
Well, and then Bear said our current coach, Heupel.
Heupel is much better put together than Pruitt ever was. His clothes generally fit. You could say he's a bigger fellow, but like that's very. I think Bear should apologize for that. Quite frankly,
Wait a second. No.
Comparing Josh Heupel to Jeremy Pruitt.
I'm sorry. I think it was insulting.
Okay.
I don't think it was. I'm sorry. Pete Golding was closer to Josh Heupel than he is.
All I'm saying is if I had said one of those comparisons, I would have read the riot act that here we go again. Bob's dropping,
Well, I don't.
People expect it out of us, Bob. You're supposed to be the, polish.
I don't have a track record of attacking coaches for their personal appearance.
Same.
Stop. People listen to this show. You just gaslight us and say, I don't do what I always do. You've made it through the entire show without taking a personal appearance swipe at Josh Heupel. I'm proud of you.
It's kind of an everyday thing, is the last I checked.
It's an everyday thing that's like your shtick. Hi, I'm Bob Baskerville. I like to make fun of Josh Heupel's personal appearance and Sterling Hinton's general loudness. That's your whole thing
and
on this show.
We told you it's not show personal appearance. It's not show fodder.
Beneath you, quite frankly, Bob.
No kidding, Pot. Here's the thing. You guys don't drop the mantra after you've been saying it in the last couple of minutes. You guys have been trashing a couple coaches.
I made an offhand comment. You're the one who's like drilling down on this. I want to talk about Pete Golding and tampering in the SEC. The widespread tampering epidemic that's happening in college football right now. You're the one trying to drag this down into the gutter, my friend.
I'm just, making sure that you talked about Golding keeping receipts. I'm keeping receipts. That's all.
Did you see Lane Kiffin when asked about the Congressional Black Caucus saying that black athletes in the South should not go to SEC schools?
No, I did not see that.
What do you think Lane Kiffin said?
Probably something inane and controversial.
Hang on while I take off my shirt.
He responded with a, quote, I do not have a comment on that, end quote.
Smart.
Yeah. I mean,
at this
point. No, it's cowardly is what it is.
He's not going to grab that third rail.
He already did. He started this. He started the fire. He's the one that brought this up. And now all of a sudden, like the SCORE Act is collateral damage because of an offhand comment he made in an interview with Vanity Fair. And now all of a sudden, somebody wants him to comment on something that's very serious. The Congressional Black Caucus, a very influential group in our federal government. And all of a sudden, Kunta Kiffin doesn't have something to say.
Whoa.
Now all of a sudden, he wants to button up. The guy
he ain't gonna touch that with a 10-foot
every
pole.
time somebody sticks a microphone in front of his face, and now it's like, "Hey, Coach Kiffin, any comment on the thing you're completely responsible for?" Oh no, of course not. I would never have anything to say. That's outside of my jurisdiction. I just.
It's the least surprising thing he's done.
This guy. I mean, this freaking guy.
You really expected him to answer that one?
You just said you did. You said probably something inane and crazy. Yes, I think we all expected him to say something inane and crazy.
Well, until you think about it, and then you realize, I could see why he wouldn't, because he's a coward. Why get that fire started with those folks?
I don't know. There's part of me that feels like he was wise to just steer clear of it.
Well, he's 100% wise to steer clear of it. Nothing good was going to come out of him commenting on that.
Well, now the only reason he steers clear of it is because he sees personal detriment to himself potentially on the way.
Yeah, but I think because of the seeds that he has sown already, I mean, anything he says is going to be taken in, a bad context. There's no winning for him at this point. So that's why. Yes, he's looking out for himself.
You kind of looks. I think Ole Miss had the right idea with how to deal with this guy. Like, look, just go to the SEC. Like, he's breaking the rules here. He's trashing another member institution. We have rules. Are you going to enforce them?
Yeah.
Somebody going to say something to this jerk?
If there are no consequences, then there really are no rules.
Or is it possible that LSU finally just said, "Hey, man, we're spending a lot of money on you. Can you just stay quiet?"
I mean, they've given him everything he's wanted, everything he wants, and more. He's even got that idiot Orgeron back down there with him.
What an idiot.
Jason Sheck, 9591 says, personal appearance is not show fodder. Plus, I know Martha Stewart.
Well, I'm not sure.
You've made an impact on the show. I mean, people know you. You've got an image out there.
I guess. I don't know. Not sure.
J Cart 29 says, shocking the SEC has set up something advantageous to Georgia. I mean, there's a pretty good conspiracy theory right there for you. Even Hunter Yurchek didn't go there. Did Greg Sankey and the SEC office make sure that Arkansas was getting home at 6 a.m. on a Sunday morning the week they have to play Georgia?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, the order of the games was already known. Was known since what?
Sure.
At the end of last season?
Yeah.
That you really got to have the tinfoil hat on to be seeing that one. I don't know if I can go there with you, Jay Cart.
I think there's a compelling argument that maybe the SEC didn't go to bat for Arkansas when the Big 12 scheduled that home game for Utah. Possibly, but hey, man, with all due respect, it's Arkansas. I don't know what else to say.
That's what I was getting ready to say. I think Sankey probably knows more that it's going to be a squash job and not very entertaining. So that's why they're putting it at noon the next week.
865-966-3435. Your phone number to get on the show, 966-3435. Let's grab a call from Donnie. Good afternoon, Donnie. You're on the drive.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. How are y'all?
Doing well, thanks.
Good. I just had a little thing I wanted to mention or ask you about. Why when I turn on the spring games on the SEC network. They got the spring games going. I see Oklahoma. Oklahoma is the one that popped up last night, and they are going. I mean, they are popping pads. They're tackling, full tackle, everything. Why, when I turn on the Tennessee spring game, is it like two-head touch out there?
Well, keep in mind our spring game was not televised, so there isn't full tape of it out there. As I understand it, they did do some full tackling work, but they also did some thud. I don't know that anybody is out there just tackling. Tell me about the Oklahoma game. Was it like 3 hours of them just laying slobber knockers?
I mean, it was just a highlight for them. So I mean, it wasn't a full spring game.
Yeah.
So I don't know that it was the whole time.
I mean, football has just gotten
what it looked like.
It's just gotten a lot less physical through the years. I mean, you can't. Maybe you can, maybe you should. I've heard that Georgia is more physical than other teams in their practices. They practice tackling a lot. Maybe that is something that Tennessee should do.
Yeah, I feel especially coming off the year we had defensively.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the message I would want to send to the team.
I don't think you want to be full junction boys with the guys this summer, diving at knees and stuff like that. But I'd make it more physical than it has been, especially if I got a new strength coach and a new defensive coordinator, and we're trying to, change up the culture a little bit, make it a little bit more tougher. Yeah, I'd be out there tackling to the ground, full body tackling drill. Maybe I'm not tackling Deshaun Bishop. Maybe I'm not tackling Mike Matthews in the open field. But I'd turn my guys loose on some of these walk-ons and, the new age walk-ons, as they call them, these guys that you're not depending on.
Yeah, because it's also going to make your first-team defense better. It's going to make your second-team offense better. I mean, going live action.
I agree.
I think that's where you see a lot of immense growth is when you got the twos versus the ones and.
I remember,
and
Donnie,
make those young guys grow up.
When Hal Mumme was in the league at Kentucky, and he was the first coach in the SEC to run the air raid. And, he made a big deal about they didn't tackle in practice. They only thudded. And, it was kind of Kentucky's kind of a laughing stock, and people, is Kentucky, they're soft. And they put up some numbers. They never had a great team. But they did put up some big, prolific offensive numbers. But, fast forward 25 years later, nobody tackles in practice like they did. And everybody has thud tackling in practice. So maybe Hal Mumme was ahead of his time.
I just feel like it's going to be a talking point during the season. If we'll come back to this point in the season, if we come out cannot tackle.
Yeah. If this team struggles to get ball carriers on the ground, take bad angles. I mean, is there anything more frustrating than watching your team play defense? And they've got a guy corralled, we've got him cornered or whatever, but the guy just goes in there full on Leroy Jenkins, just no gap integrity, just run straight at the ball carrier instead of leveraging him into his teammates and making a sound tackle. You used to take that for granted. And now we've just got guys running left and right that should be tackled.
Even worse. I mean, we basically let a guy carry a player or two of ours for a defensive touchdown last year that ended up costing us a huge game.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe we need to do tackling drills for the O-line. Donnie, good stuff, my man.
That's all I was just wondering. I don't know if y'all had any information on why we weren't going full blast on the tackling, but I look forward to this season. I'm ready for football season.
I hear you.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Donnie. Appreciate the phone call.
I think it's they're trying to minimize the head-to-head contact as much as they can.
When we continue, yesterday, top 5 shows of the 80s. Today, as promised, top 5 shows of the 90s. I've been deliberating on this all day. This was much more difficult for me than yesterday.
Yeah, I have a long list.
Yeah.
Me too.
somewhat pared mine down.
All right. We'll take a quick time out. We'll be back. Wrap things up. It's The Drive. More Fan Run Radio. Stay with us.
The Drive. Miss any of your favorite
Final segment brought to you by our friends over at SM Athletics. If you have any uniform, work shirt needs, anything like that, you're running a baseball team this summer, got football coming up, smathletics.com. They will get you set up with all your uniform, screen printing, embroidery needs. SM Athletics. All right. So I was thinking about this, like this, since yesterday. This was so much harder than the 80s. And I guess it's just because like I was watching more TV and then I was older and consumed more shows. But this was difficult because I've got a laundry list of shows. And I mean, we could go all day, but I narrowed it down best I can. This is what I got. And we'll go ahead and start. Again, no particular order. I think Seinfeld is, like I said yesterday, the quintessential show of the 90s. I think when you ask most people, like what TV show comes to mind, I think most people would say Seinfeld. I think second most, or maybe first most, I don't know, would say Friends. I don't have Friends on my top five. I was just
Same for me.
I was not a Friends guy, but certainly acknowledge its popularity. The Simpsons is on my list. It's my favorite show. Hugely influential, still going. I mean, that's just insane that what is it, like 38 seasons, 40 seasons, whatever it's been now. This is where it gets a little tricky. I'm going to go with The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh.
That was just a great show, man.
Mm-hmm.
Watched it all the time when it was on weekly. Watched it all the time in syndication. Even when they changed Aunt Viv, changed actresses, it was still pretty good. Loved Carlton. Loved Jazzy Jeff's character. Loved Jeffrey, the butler. Just some great characters in that show. Saved by the Bell. Again, like if you're a certain age, it's another show that I just think everybody has seen every episode. If you're in your 40s and you haven't seen every episode, and I'm talking every episode, including the Miss Bliss years and Saved by the Bell college years, then like you weren't alive in the 90s. I don't know. I can't trust you, quite frankly. And then the fifth show, this is where like, I don't know, all hell broke loose. I had to choose one. Frasier.
Oh, that's on my list.
I loved Frasier. And I wasn't a Cheers fan, like I told you yesterday, but I didn't even realize it was a spinoff the first couple of times I was watching it. But, again, great character, Niles Crane, Daphne, Roz. Like he worked in radio. Remember there was a sports talk, a meathead sports radio guy, Bulldog?
Yep.
Great characters in Frasier. Great dialogue, great writing, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, Frasier's on my list. Seinfeld is as well. I know I put it in for the 80s yesterday. That was probably a fringe pick. Most of its time was in the 90s. A lot of comedies that influenced me. The Larry Sanders Show.
Really?
Oh.
I almost put that on my list.
Never got into it. I was a little too young.
Cut.
Hilarious. So great. So great. In Living Color.
Interesting.
Almost put that one on mine as well.
Big fan of the Fly Girls, were you?
Nah, just all the characters they created. That's where I got introduced to Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Actually, that was
where he got launched.
Yeah.
Favorite character, Fire Marshal Bill.
Fire Marshal Bill was good.
Homie the Clown.
I actually loved Men on Film. It was great. That was a great bit.
Homie, don't play that.
Yeah, Homie the Clown. I mean,
there's government cheese. Is that what he hit you with?
And then Jamie Foxx played like a woman,
LaFonda,
or something like had the cross eyes.
Yeah.
My God, what a show!
Think about the comedic talent that came off that show. The superstars.
They used to do a bit, and I got to do a thing in the studio with David Alan Grier and Robert Townsend. Some of those guys that did that ended up doing that show.
Name dropping.
And
Here we go.
Those guys were. I think David Alan Grier is like one of the most underrated, like funny guys there was out there. He's fantastic. He's still getting work.
Is he related to Pam Grier?
No, I don't think so. But News Radio. Anybody
really?
Damn you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, we talked about Phil Hartman yesterday. He was fantastic.
Was that the show Rogan was on?
Yes.
Never watched it.
Back when he was
Beavis and Butthead.
That was one
Weasel Bill about you. Bob's got two of mine now.
Yeah, I thought about it.
And then the last one, it's kind of a toss up, but either one on the drama side, ER or NYPD Blue. I liked both of them.
Wasn't NYPD Blue? That was like edgy, wasn't it? For the time,
there was like
they showed Dennis Franz's butt or something.
Backside nudity and stuff like that for broadcast TV. That was a big deal
for a couple of people.
Yeah. So those are mine.
That was the beginning of the moral decay that the slide into debauchery and degeneracy that we find ourselves in currently.
Yeah. So
NYPD Blue, it's all your fault. All right, Bear, what you got?
Well, I had ER. I also had Beavis and Butthead News Radio.
Wow. Like Bob and Bear could hang out.
News Radio was a hell of a show.
Never saw it.
You kidding me? You'd have loved it.
Probably would have.
Oh, it was great.
Absolutely hysterical. And
Dave
Andy
Foley.
Dick, and back when he was,
before
he became a freak show.
Right. Andy Dick before he melted down.
Oh, what's the guy's name? He's a character actor. He's in there. He played the guy with the stapler in Office Space.
Stephen Root.
Yeah. Stephen Root played the boss.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, man, it was like an all-star cast. I had Homicide Life on the Street.
What the hell is that?
It was this like homicide kind of
Richard Belzer was
yeah,
he
it was
in
on NBC. It's
The
what if there
comedian?
hadn't been
Yeah, he played a dramatic role. He was a cop.
and a lot of the people that started off on Homicide: Life on the Street went on to do The Wire for HBO because it's all set in Baltimore. And then one of the most underrated shows, and it was on cable. Oz.
Oz was good. It was
heavy duty. It was dark.
Yes, it was.
All right, real quickly, some runners up here. Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah.
Freaks and Geeks was good.
I didn't put them on because they just had the one season.
Kids in the Hall.
Excellent.
King of the Hill.
Yeah.
A lot of cartoons. Beavis and Butt, like South Park debuted in the 90s, although I consider that more of a 2000s.
Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy, yeah, that was a good one.
Ren.
Third Rock from the Sun.
I loved
that show.
Yeah. They were the aliens.
Yeah.
John Lithgow.
Oh, Lithgow was so good in that.
And the little kid, he ended up being kind of a big deal.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I believe.
Yeah. And then the tall blonde girl.
Yeah.
Kristen Johnson.
She was pretty.
John Lithgow is one of the very underrated comedic.
That was such a good show. Futurama. How about this? Weird Science. Remember Vanessa Angel? Weird Science? No, I'm the only one.
I remember the movie.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
not the.
That was Kelly LeBrock.
Yeah.
Vanessa Angel for
I remember Vanessa Angel.
a young lad in the 90s and going through his difficult formative teenage years. She was
Here's
something.
Here's some from some of the listeners because these are names we have not thrown out, but they're good ones. Coastal Vol says Full House was number one for him in the 90s. GBO Kyle Beach said, "Give me Step by Step." He also had Fresh Prince, Saved by the
Step was good. Suzanne Summers,
Saved by the Bell,
Patrick Duffy,
and Cops.
Oh,
Cops.
Cops was groundbreaking. The other show I had on my list was The Real World.
Yeah.
That made like the first couple, like that was reality TV. Like they didn't even know what they had, but it was good.
Platinum Mine's what they had.
The first 3-5 seasons of that were really good. People were always watching that.
Martin,
I almost put Martin down.
Yeah, that was.
There was a lot of stuff on.
Commissioner Bachwinkle wants Urkel, Family Matters.
Yeah.
I loved all that. TGIF, Full House, Family Matters, Step by Step, great TV, family TV.
Some others I had on my The
Simpler
Pretender.
times.
Remember that show?
Never heard of it.
What was it called?
The Pretender.
I don't remember that.
Pretty good show.
My wife has a write-in vote for The Wonder Years.
Oh, that was a great show.
There's several of these that kind of straddle the
Good one.
80s and the 90s. The Wonder Years was one of them. I thought it started in the late 80s.
Joshy Boy wants to chime in. What?
No, go for it.
Joshy Boy says Chaz Coleman is a bum who will never play a meaningful down at Tennessee. Joshy Boy is very subtle. He likes to nibble around the edges.
Lay
Never
some
quite sure
breadcrumbs.
where
Very
he.
nuanced.
Yes.
Jason Scheck says the real world was transcendent. It's pretty good.
I don't know about transcendent. Now, the MTV Spring Break shows were transcendent.
The Sopranos technically started in the late 90s. I think that was 98.
Yeah, that's a 2000 show.
I think so.
You could go on and on, man. There's a ton.
Great decade for television. I mean, X-Files, Unsolved Mysteries. We were talking about Mr. Show with Bob and David. A little bit off the beaten track, but a great show.
Yeah, Mr. Show was another good
Boy
one.
Meets World was another TGIF one. Thank you, Rich. Great suggestion.
Sabrina the
Young
Teenage Witch.
Topanga. I never got it. That to me, that there were those CW shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, like I never watched any of those.
Twin
but-
Peaks.
Yeah, man. I watched the movie. I never watched the TV show.
Northern Exposure.